Woo!
All right. No conversation starters.
I don't have anything good.
Oh, I do. Oh wait, I can't tell you yet.
Okay. Are you going
You
to
got
tell
nothing,
me?
Jeremiah?
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna tell you whenever it's what we watch this week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you anyways. I watched Fifth Element last night.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me what you thought about it when we get there.
Okay.
All right. Well, welcome back. We are the Bonsai Movie Crew. As you can see, Eric still hasn't cut his hair off yet.
I wish you'd quit referring to my husband as my brother. That's really creepy and gross.
I was gonna say, did I miss something?
No, Jeremiah's still here. He's hanging out with us till Eric comes back. I don't even know when that'll be.
Sometime in June, isn't it?
Sometime in June. So probably about halfway through June, something like that. We'll get back in the motion of things. Like Madison won't be here next week again. Anyway, though, we're making do. Jeremiah's a good fill-in. He actually knows more about movies than Eric does. But it's nice having Eric on because he's the everyman.
I think I talk more than him too. I've noticed sometimes he just sits there.
He does. He don't have a lot to say. He never really has, unless he's joking around about something.
Yeah.
I think he just kind of like takes in most of what we say, and he doesn't really have a lot to respond with.
A lot of those TikToks that I make are usually something that he's made a joke about.
Yeah. Yeah. So, but it's nice having somebody other than me and Karen who's also knowledged about movies.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I don't know nothing.
Not
right.
me.
You're a
I'm
liar.
here as the child's point of view.
Really, Madison's here. She's like the on-screen pupil. You know what I mean? She's like here to learn.
I lied. I do have a conversation starter. I was scrolling through Instagram yesterday, right?
Okay.
And I saw this, it was a meme. I forget what it was about. It took away from the story completely because it said Nico girl in it. I was like, what is a Nico girl? And I got on Google and I said, what is a Nico girl? Guess what a Nico girl is?
Chick who dresses up like a cat.
What?
Did you know that already?
Well, Nico, just a cat.
How do you know that?
Because I know stuff.
Because I know stuff?
Yeah, it's like a girl dresses up like a cat.
But
it's like
how do you know?
NYKO or something, isn't it?
N-E-K-O.
Okay.
How do you know this? Though, like, how do you? What's a Nico?
Hey, what he does in his free time?
Nico?
It's his own
How's
business.
Nico a cat?
Remember the whole conversation we had
No.
yesterday about all the weird shit I watch?
Yeah.
If I need to tell her something, she's got an ear.
Yeah.
It's a Japanese word for cat. I got it.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So what do they like dress up like? Do they dress up like actual cats? Or
Well,
are
they
those
put on ears and a tail and they get on all fours.
Yeah, there ain't no costume except for that.
except for the ears? Okay. So I've seen these stupid ass
And
girls on the
the
internet.
tail's probably a fucking butt plug.
They probably
anyway.
yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
They might, yeah. But like I've seen girls like that on the internet, and they do that like for TikTok and streaming, and that's how they get.
I know what you're
viewers.
talking about. I've seen them too, and
They're morons.
they're interesting.
Dude,
They're not
it scares
interesting.
me,
They're
though.
fucking idiots.
Yeah, they are.
They're idiots, and you people waste your time and money on these people. Just throw it
I
at
can't
them.
believe how
Hold on,
popular
I bet
that
you they
is.
make a lot of money on OnlyFans though.
They probably do.
I bet
You're
they
absolutely
do.
correct. Yeah, that's what I need to get.
There's a
into.
kink for everything, I suppose.
I'm about to get on there.
Not
anybody
kink
out there,
shaming.
Anybody out there got a
OnlyFans-
daddy kink?
Honestly,
I'm gonna get on
OnlyFans is
there.
the only place where that really belongs because it's a kink. So that belongs there. Everybody's got a kink.
How do you
Yeah,
feel about
OnlyFans,
dad feet?
yeah.
I've got dad feet.
Not on TikTok though.
Dad.
Yeah.
There's a kink for everything. I'm sure there's
I can't say
somebody
anything,
out there.
I'm still a minor.
No, you don't need to say anything.
No.
That's why I just said that.
Ah, fuck. This fucking world we live in. Oh, man. Anyway, don't forget about our socials, our TikTok. Speaking of TikTok. No, we don't have an OnlyFans.
Next week we'll have one, but it'll only have dad feet on it.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
It would be.
TikTok. God damn it, I lost my train of thought. Instagram,
X,
and Facebook. And
Yeah.
don't forget, we still got our Discord. It seems like people join the Discord, but nobody ever says anything.
Don't be shy. We're not mean.
Yeah. Unless they just join the Discord to support us and they're like, put us on silent.
Or they just watch us, or they sit there and laugh at us.
You can
talking.
watch us on OnlyFans too.
Not yet. We
If
don't
we
have
get
one. If we get one.
Watch him, not us.
I don't know, man. Some of the shit that we would like that video that Alec had posted on there, not on there, but in our
The gasoline
Sure,
guy.
yeah. Like I would love to post shit like that on there, but I don't know what the age group of the people are,
Right. Because like,
or how inappropriate it might be. Like, what are they gonna do? Cancel our fucking channel? They can't. It's fucking Discord.
I think
So-
I'm too young for that.
I thought it was fucking hilarious.
It
dude.
was funny, but
But that's some weird shit you'd see in like L.A. or
Oh.
some big ass city.
it sounded like it was maybe Swedish or something. I couldn't tell for
maybe,
sure.
yeah.
Because it wasn't another country. Oh God, burned my eyes.
Well, that was fucking funny. Kind of like how I thought Two Girls, One Cup was funny.
No. No.
What were you doing when you watched that?
Eating corn dogs.
Yeah, that's right.
How'd you feel about that corn dog?
It was good.
It was good. It was good.
I can separate art from food.
Art.
Art? Is that what you call it? I don't know if it's art, man.
Everybody has their different definitions of art.
No.
I wouldn't call that art.
Oh, I was
More
gonna
like
say,
fart.
We got a different definition.
No, that's more than fart.
It's like shart.
Yeah.
Shart.
Ugh.
Oh, man, that's fucking nasty. Anyway, let's move on here. Let's go ahead and get into our creator profile.
I
I'm
can't guess
sure-
because I already know.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody knows who it is.
'Cause you
That's
put
already
it-
fucking looking at it.
Well, you
so-
already put it in the thing.
Oh, in the group text? I guess the only one. Jeremiah, you know who it is?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah. Yeah.
He guessed it before.
Yeah. I mean, well, we've already done Bruce Willis, so. I think we did Bruce Willis for the second Die Hard movie.
I think so.
And then that's pretty much. I mean, we could have done Jeremy
'Cause
Irons,
we did
That was-
Professor Snape for the first one.
but. Did we?
I think so.
No, we didn't.
Alan Rickman.
I don't think we did, because I don't think we were doing creator profiles when we did the first movie.
No, I don't think you were.
We weren't.
Should have done him.
Yeah, true. We should have. He'd have been a good one to do. Then again, we lost an opportunity of doing Stan Lee too, so that was pretty stupid. But we'll have another opportunity, I'm sure.
Yeah, we have
Anyway,
more Spider-Man movies to watch.
huh?
There's another Spider-Man movie, so.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into that creator profile. Are you reading it?
Yeah. After I write down the timestamp thingy.
It's a long one.
You know, she steals that thing. Like,
I know, she does it on purpose.
Yeah, I know, because they'll tell me no if not. Alright. Samuel L. Jackson graduated from Morehouse College in 1972 and began his acting career on stage. A move to New York City led to a friendship with Spike Lee and some of his first movie gigs before he enjoyed a star-making turn with a commanding performance in Pulp Fiction. Jackson became an ubiquitous?
What?
I don't know. Look.
Ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous?
Ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous. That's a
Yeah.
stupid word.
Okay.
Okay, presence on the big screen. Appearing in big budget films like Star Wars The Phantom Menace and its sequels and the numerous installments of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In 2012, he was named the highest grossing, is it grossing? Grossing actor of all time with more than $77.2 billion in wealth. Early life. Jackson was born
That
on
dude
December...
is fucking loaded, man. I just can't believe how much money.
can you
that dude
imagine,
has.
like, even $1 billion?
Yeah, right.
Can you
$1
imagine
billion.
even...
$1 billion.
Yeah.
He's got 72.
Can you imagine even $1 million?
This dude has he could stop now
I-
and
A
still
billion
take care of the next
bucks.
4 generations of
A
his
billion
family.
sound like the word billion sounds made up. It just does. It doesn't sound like a real, like, quantifying
Trillion.
number.
Not even trillion does.
No. Anything above 1 million sounds made up. It doesn't sound like a quantifiable number.
It doesn't. Yeah, I agree. Because it's not something that's fathomable to us. We'll never own $1 billion of anything.
Like, you can't walk into the bank and go, I want to take out $1 billion.
You can't even do that with $1 million.
No, but at least you could get a cashier's check. I mean, like, you know,
I think if you walked in and said, I need a cashier's check for $1 billion, they'd probably look at you like, somebody
That's-
please
What
call the
planet?
psych
Time?
ward.
Yeah, that's funny.
You're
No,
funny.
No, really. I've got 72
I
of them. I
think
just want
someone-
one.
Yeah, they're probably gonna be like, I think that kid downtown let out another person from the psych ward again. Like,
Yeah.
Call someone.
He donates a lot of money.
He
though.
does.
He
He
gives a
does.
lot of his money away to charity. But then again, when you've got $72 billion,
7.2.
7.2
Okay.
$7.2 billion dollars, that you're going to need a lot of tax write-offs, and that's exactly what charitable donations are. They're tax
Yep.
write-offs. So,
That's nothing for them. I mean,
right.
Alright.
not to downplay their charitable.
His money is
works,
literally
it
just sitting there accumulating interest, and like, yeah, he walks into the bank and they're like, do you need your fucking toes sucked while you're here today?
They
sir?"
don't buy tissues. They just stuff it with $1 bills.
Yeah.
Alright, Jackson was born on December 21st, 1948 in Washington, D.C. and was raised in Chattanooga, Tennessee under his grandmother's strict guidance. His mother Elizabeth joined them when he was 10. An early film enthusiast, Jackson frequently saw films at the local theater.
You couldn't pronounce local theater?
It says locale. Local theater and gained exposure to the complicated messages surrounding.
It's an old-fashioned way of writing local. It's like,
Locale.
locale.
The black presence on screen. Versions of Band of Angels were edited for the black audience in Chattanooga, omitting a scene in which Sidney Poitier.
Potty mouth. Potty. Sidney Potty.
Okay.
Poitier.
Slaps a white woman.
What? It just sounds hilarious. Sorry.
Jackson's early memories remained with him when he entered the historically black Morehouse College in Atlanta and became, my bad, Dad. Don't yell. Increasingly involved in the black.
Are you happy? You're gonna fuck me up.
Found the time I could use it.
I don't know, that blank stare. Sending me signals, I don't know.
My stare? I'm not even looking at you.
And it was a joke.
Oh. Sorry, man. I'm out of it.
You can tell.
Are you happy or are you gonna fuck me up?
I don't know. Neither, I guess. I'm just here, dude.
She's talking about me to you.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about you.
Oh, maybe.
Jackson's early memories remain. In 1969, during his junior year, he protested the absence of black people on board of trustees by locking several board members in a building for 2 days and was promptly expelled from college that same year. Jackson watched and perform a performance by the... I can't say that, actually.
Why?
I can't say it.
It's probably the N-word.
Yeah, it's the
Oh, yeah, don't say it.
You say that like you would have given me permission to say it.
No, I wouldn't have.
And gained a new inspiration. Acting. After working as a social worker for 2 years in Los Angeles, Jackson returned to Morehouse to pursue the study of acting and received his degree in 1972. Early stage career. After college, Jackson joined the Black Image Theater company with his future wife, LaTanya Richardson, whom he met at Morehouse's sister school, Spelman College. They toured the country and performed skits characterized by a fiery combination. I don't know if it said fiery or fiery. Combination of rage and humor to primarily white audiences. In 1967, having exhausted their enthusiasm for politically charged theater, Jackson moved with Richardson to Harlem, New York City to pursue an acting career outside of such strictly defined perimeters of race. He began to act in off-Broadway productions, including Richard Wesley's The Mighty Gents, an adaptation of Bertolt Brecht's Mother Courage and Sam Art Williams' Home. He also got a job substituting for Bill Cosby during the Cosby Show rehearsals. Collaborations with
What?
Spike Lee. What?
Why?
Don't.
Who needs a substitute for rehearsals? Like, I don't feel like doing it. You can do it for me. Like,
Yeah,
but
that
then
gave
you're
me-
not going to know what to do when it's time to act.
I was gonna say I thought
That
that was.
gave him-
I thought the whole point of rehearsal was so that you
Yeah.
knew what to do when it was like time to do it.
I gave Bill Cosby enough time to get back behind the scenes.
Yeah.
For the
Get back
Kool-Aid.
there and make those ladies plenty of drinks.
Yeah.
If you know what he
In case
means.
they got thirsty.
I'm thirsty, Bill.
Mm.
Okay. In 1961, while working on Charles Fuller's A Soldier's Play, Jackson had two life-changing encounters. He met fellow actor Morgan Freeman, who became a great friend and convinced Jackson that he could be a successful actor in New York University. Film student named Spike Lee. I actually get Morgan Freeman and Samuel Jackson confused all the
What do
time.
you think? Just all black people look alike?
No, or else I'd get all
They
of
look
them confused together.
Look
but
nothing
I don't.
alike.
Samuel L. Jackson
I
screams
just-
a
I
lot.
don't
Morgan
know why.
Freeman's
I
very
just do.
calm, cool, and collected. And Morgan Freeman has freckles.
Does he?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see Morgan Freeman in a lot of stuff. That's probably why.
He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I guess I just don't watch the right things.
Their demeanors are way different.
We need to get Sam Jackson, Denzel Washington, and Morgan Freeman at
You
a
mean
round
Denzel?
table. Oh yeah, Denzel.
You're the one that always yells at me for saying it
Denzel.
wrong.
My bad.
Denzel Washington.
Denzel. Yeah, we just need to get them on a round table and just hear them talk about stuff.
Oh,
Maybe
man.
that makes sense.
That would be cool.
They probably got some shit to say though. They got
I
a lot,
know.
Oh
probably
yeah.
got a lot of shit to say.
I just sit there and I listen. I wouldn't even.
Mhm.
I wouldn't say a word. I just listen.
Yeah. Yeah. And a New York actor, university film student named Spike Lee, who expressed his enthusiasm for Jackson's performances and urged him to appear in the films he planned to make. Jackson consented and kept his word, appearing in several of Lee's early films, including School Days, Do the Right Thing, and Mo Better Blues. The friendship duly paid off for Jackson, as it was his role as the drug-addicted Gator in Lee's Jungle Fever that finally grabbed critics' attention and inspired some well-earned praise. Judges at the Cannes Film Festival created a Best Supporting Actor category to give Jackson the prize. He also received a New York Film Critics Award. Oh, that's just the sentence. No, it's not. It just has a period. Okay, he also received a New York Film Critics Award through playing an on-screen drug demon. Jackson... No, that is one sentence. Okay, through playing an on-screen drug demon, Jackson was forced to confront his off-screen demon and increasingly destructive addiction to drugs and alcohol. The cathartic nature of his performance enabled Jackson to give up drugs, making it both a personal and professional success. Jackson continued to take small parts in films such as Juice and True Romance, and played an FBI agent in the thriller White Sands, exhibiting his impressive range and ability
Who was he in
to
True
add
Romance?
a quirky
Bit part.
twist to every character.
Just like most of the other people.
Oh. I'm trying to remember where the fuck he was in the movie. I remember.
In the beginning. Towards the beginning.
Oh yeah.
He overcame 2 Hollywood flops.
Oh,
National,
that's it? Out of all the movies he's made, 2 of them flopped.
National Lampoon's Loaded Weapon, and Amos and Andrew. By making small but affecting performances in Menace to Society and Patriot Games, and also enjoyed a prominent supporting part in the blockbuster Jurassic Park. Breakout role in Pulp Fiction. In 1994, after establishing a reputation as one of Hollywood's hardest working actors, Jackson got a chance to play the pivotal role of his career in Quentin Tarantino's instant cult classic, Pulp Fiction. Working from any actor's dream script, Jackson played Jules Winfield, a sermon-spewing killer with eruptive speeches up to 5 pages long. He moved and terrified audiences with his impassioned performance, becoming the elusive moral center of the psychologically twisted film. He received an Academy Award nomination for the role.
He was pretty awesome in it.
Mm-hmm.
He was probably the best part of that whole movie.
Films A Time to Kill, Star Wars, and Snakes on a Plane. Jackson went to make several big Hollywood films, including John Grisham.
John Grisham.
John Grisham's A Time to Kill and the action thriller The Long Kiss
It's a good
Goodnight.
movie. Both of them are.
Long Kiss Goodnight's awesome.
But he continued to participate in independent endeavors such as Steve Buscemi's Trees Lounge. He also made a much-desired return to the stage in 1993 with Distant Fires, telling Premiere Magazine, "I always want to get back to theater to make sure that I'm still an actor." Cool. In 1999, Jackson appeared in the shark thriller Deep Blue Sea and as Jedi Knight Mace Windu in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, a role reprise for Attack of the Clones in 2002, and Revenge of the Sith in 2005. The 2000 was a busy one for the popular actor who starred with Tommy Lee Jones in the military thriller Rules of Engagement and the remake of the classic 1970s blaxploitation hit Shaft. He also teamed with Bruce Willis in Unbreakable, a supernatural thriller written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan and Ding Dong.
Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan. Yeah.
The Y silent.
Sure. What a twist.
Okay. After starring opposite Ben Affleck. You ever seen that? Affleck.
I'm surprised they never had him in a commercial. Probably couldn't afford him.
Probably not. Not
Affleck.
anymore. Once upon a time, but definitely not now.
And 2002's
Not after
Changing
Phantoms.
Lanes. In 2002's Changing Lanes, Jackson tackled the title role of the biopic Coach Charter in 2005.
Carter.
Coach
Carter. You said Charter.
I did?
Yeah.
Whoops.
I didn't notice.
Neither did I.
We did.
Yeah.
The following year, Jackson starred in Black Snake Moan.
That's a good movie, too.
Weird name.
I liked it.
And the cult classic Snakes on a Plane. And in 2008, he rejoined his
You knew what you
fandom-
were in for.
Cult classic, though.
What?
You knew what
Snakes
you
on a
were in
Plane.
for. Come on. They didn't hide what you were
Well,
going
I
to
know
see.
that, but
I'm just saying. Anybody
Oh.
who went to see that movie and came out and said, "That's stupid," you knew what you were going to see. It's
don't-
literally in the title.
I don't know about calling it a cult classic.
yeah,
though.
that's what I'm saying.
What is it? Snakes on a
Well,
Plane.
what would you call
Yeah.
it?
A movie with snakes on a plane. That's the first time I've heard that name mentioned in years.
That's
I'm being
true.
honest.
Yeah,
If it
that's
was
true.
a cult classic, you'd hear more about it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say it was a. I don't know.
it was fun.
That's what I'm saying. It was fun, so I don't know if you'd call it necessarily
Maybe
like
a
a
cult
failure.
hit. for its time. But I
Yeah,
wouldn't call it.
I wouldn't say. I wouldn't say it's got long-standing.
Yeah, but I feel like the longer we go without it, the less people.
Yeah, I'm not saying it has long-standing power. Just more. I
honestly
wouldn't.
I wouldn't even say I would call it a cult in any fashion because it's not. People have forgotten.
I wouldn't call it a flop. Is all I'm saying.
No, it's not a flop.
Yeah,
I'm just saying people have forgotten about it.
Yeah,
over time.
it's forgettable. Yeah, it's forgettable.
Okay.
Had 15 minutes of fame, pretty much.
There you go.
That was about it.
Based off of one line in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm tired of these
motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Of course he said that because he says motherfucker in everything he's in.
Mm-hmm. He's paid a lot of money to say it.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2008, he rejoined his Phantom Menace colleague Hayden
Christensen
and Jumper to add to his many successes the Guinness Book of World Records.
Guinness.
Whatever.
No,
records.
not whatever. It's very famous.
Yeah, everybody in middle school always had the book, and whenever I tried to check it out, I never could, so I became uninterested, and therefore, don't care.
Because of her personal reasons. It doesn't matter.
No. Anyways.
That's another movie, though, Jumper, that, I think they were trying to spawn a franchise, and it just went nowhere after the first
I never
movie.
even saw it.
You never saw it?
Mm-mm.
You know what? It's not bad. It's a good movie.
I'm sure it is. I just never
It was cool for its time because there wasn't movies out there. We weren't oversaturated with with superhero movies and stuff like that. And it was essentially a guy who can teleport.
Yeah.
Here, there is a J, not a G. Therefore, it is Guinness.
What? It's Guinness. Guinness Book of World Records.
But now there's a J, so now it's Guinness.
You changed the spelling yourself?
No.
I'm pretty sure with a J, you can still say Guinness, can't you?
No.
Can you?
I don't know of any instance where that's a thing.
No? Okay.
That's because he doesn't know how to spell words. It's okay.
You're the one who just spades. Never mind. Just
he doesn't know how to
I don't know
talk.
how to talk
either.
right now either.
Okay.
I'm over it.
The Guinness Book of World
Guinness.
Records.
Guinness
Records.
Book.
Records.
Guinness
Records.
Book of World Records.
Records.
Just read the fucking thing and say Guinness.
I did. It said.
I
there's a
award you
J
no
there.
points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Yeah.
Which one of us? Both of us?
You.
Roll on.
You award me no points, and
Roll
him,
on.
he had mercy on his soul. I take it.
You're killing me, Smalls.
Okay. I hear you. Named Jackson the highest grossing movie actor of all time in 2011.
Are you starting Josing?
There's an R there, so
Drosing?
I mean, if you want to believe that, then go ahead. I'm not stopping you.
This is why kids think they're different genders and they all think they're cats.
What are you trying to say to me right now?
The preferred term is Nico. I
Uh,
just found out.
Are you a Nico girl?
Does it look like I own a pair of cat tails and a cat ears and a butt plug?
Oh boy.
No, I don't own
That
a
makes
butt
me a
plug.
Nico.
Nico dad.
I got some cat ears and a butt
Oh
plug.
my god, if I show up next week and he's got cat ears on, I'm leaving.
I'm gonna buy him I'm gonna buy him the headphones.
Oh, make sure they're sparkly.
He would be a gamer girl. Can you do the voice? Do the voice.
Ew woo. Or is it ew woo?
Ooh.
Ew.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ew.
Woo.
Woo.
You gotta
Ooh.
say.
What are you
Ew.
talking about?
It's like
Ew.
UWU.
You
Yeah.
guys got dark or deep voices. Do the Otta one.
Huh?
They also say Otta. Say it like that. Go ahead.
Otta.
No, you gotta.
What?
I have
I have
no idea what's going
Yeah,
on.
What am I saying?
That one I don't know.
Oh, look at.
Well,
I don't know.
I know what the ew woo one is because
What's
these
ew
girls
woo?
think it's cute to like do this ew woo and they'll almost cross their eyes, look at the camera, It's so weird. Like, I think it turns on a bunch of fanboys.
Yep.
It's fucking weird. The internet's full of weird people anymore.
I'm the stranger.
I didn't say you were strange. I just said if you had anything you wanted to tell me, it was okay.
Otta means my, oh dear, or oh me, oh my.
I don't even know whatever, man. Just keep reading. You fucking kids trip me out anymore.
I'm sorry.
I don't understand.
I'm about to go find
I'm
a
so
mountain and live on it. Like, just
I
shut
told you
myself
we should
off.
buy land and roll out.
Kids.
Mids, oh god.
Okay. I just got a couple.
Mhm.
Got this.
Okay.
Samuel L. Jackson
No, I know.
wouldn't approve of any of this.
No.
Hey, you remember when they did the parody on Chappelle? With Samuel Jackson beer?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Instead of
I don't remember. Like, I remember the beer itself, but I don't remember what the whole shtick was.
I don't either. I just remember him being
It was
in
a bunch of
costume.
screaming like, "It'll get you drunk," or
Yeah.
something like that.
Get you drunk, motherfucker. Yeah.
Okay. At the time, he was named the highest-grossing film actor. Jackson was just beginning his run as
Instead
Nick
of Sam
Fury in
Adams.
Marvel Cinematic Universe after appearing during the end credits of 2008 Iron Man. His character returned for the 2010 sequel in subsequent films to introduce the other Marvel superheroes, including Thor 2011, Captain America: The First Avenger 2011, and The Winter Soldier 2014, The Avengers 2012, Age of Ultron 2015, Infinity War 2018, and Endgame 2019.
Can you believe them been making them
And
movies for
Captain Marvel
like
2019.
almost 20 years now?
You seen all of them?
I have.
I haven't seen the new ones. I haven't seen the new I haven't seen the Marvels.
I haven't seen anything past Endgame.
Oh, I've seen past that.
I watched last year.
I think the last one
Maybe
I watched was
watched
Black
all
Widow.
fucking 23 of them.
Black Widow.
I think
that
that
movie
was
was
the
garbage
last
too.
one.
That movie wouldn't have been good. Could have been way better. Best part of those movies is seeing Scarlett Johansson run around in spandex.
No.
I don't care what anybody says. Yes, I will sexualize her. Because people sexualize her already. She's the one who gets in them outfits. I'm just saying. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay. Additionally, Jackson has appeared as Fury in the TV series Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Later films, I'm not even going to try to say that. The Hateful Eight and Glass. Along with
Django Unchained.
Yeah, it's Django.
How do you know that?
Because I'm not dumb.
It's actually a really good movie.
It's a very good movie.
Mm-hmm.
That's how come we know.
It's funny because Samuel L. Jackson plays a character that pretty much hates slaves. Like he was like, I don't know. It's fucked up. It's a Quentin Tarantino movie.
Mm-hmm.
Along with his lucrative work for Marvel, Jackson reunited with Tarantino for the Django
Yes.
Unchained 2012 and The Hateful Eight 2015 with Lee for Chirac. 2015. He assumed and patented military commander type role for Kong Skull Island in 2017 and revised two of his older characters in 2019 with the unbreakable sequel Glass as his new version of Shaft. Oh my god, he's been in so many movies.
He's been in a lot of fucking movies. Especially in recent years, like from like 2000 to now.
He blew up.
Yeah, his IP just went fucking insane.
The veterinarian actor opened 2020 on a strong note with
You mean
the,
veteran?
Is that-
What did you say?
Veterinarian.
Veterinarian.
I mean, he might work on animals in this downtime. I don't know.
Maybe.
I love you, Madison, so much.
The veteran actor opened 2020 on a strong note with the theatrical release of the well-received war drama The Last Full Measure, which featured Peter Fonda as his final role before joining MCU colleague Anthony Mackie in the biopic The Banker. I remember that movie. We watched that in history. It was boring.
I don't think I've ever even heard of
It
it.
was good, but I thought it was boring because they made us watch it in history. Personal life. Jackson and Richardson married in 1980, and they currently reside in California. They have one child together and a daughter named Zoe. When a reporter asked why his wife stayed with him during his wilder years, he replied, "She always says to me that I have now grown into the man that she always knew I could be." And that is why we marry people.
He's a faithful dude. He's been with the same woman for a long time. And you don't ever see her out in public with him or nothing either. I think she lives a very secluded life.
Yeah.
Like stays out
I
of
think,
that
well,
shit.
when they were younger, she did, but not so much anymore.
All right, favorite Samuel L. Jackson movie. Everybody go.
All at once.
Unbreakable
Unbreakable.
and Glass, I guess. The whole East Trail
Marvel
trilogy, but he
movies
was
don't
only in
count.
the two. I really like that character.
What about you?
Basic.
Basic. Basic's a good one.
I really like Basic.
That's a good one. What's yours?
Marvel movies don't count.
Yeah, they count if he's in them.
I like The Avengers a lot. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't care. I like it.
Damn, he's done a lot of movies, man. It's hard to pick one. I guess I could say Kill Bill because he's technically in the second one. Like,
I was gonna say
You don't see
True
his
Romance.
face, but-
I could say True Romance, but he's in it for like a blip of a
yeah,
second.
right.
I wouldn't count that.
I couldn't count it. I'm gonna say probably Pulp Fiction's really good, and so is like Django Unchained and The Hateful Eight.
Mm-hmm.
Man, but he's done so many fucking Long Kiss Goodnight is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's tough. It's tough.
That's hard for me.
because he's done a lot of really good movies. Black Snake Moan is a really good one. I really love his character in that one. And I'm gonna go off of his character alone, like my favorite character of his. And I think if I was gonna choose that, I would probably say Pulp Fiction, because his character in Pulp Fiction's amazing. He's the best part of that whole movie, hands down.
He's gonna be in that new Garfield movie.
Yeah, he plays the Garfield's dad.
John.
Huh?
John or the cat dad.
No,
The
the
cat
cat. Yeah, the cat dad. They're like, yeah, this movie's gonna flop. So
Throw a name in there.
yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna go with probably Pulp Fiction just because of his character in Pulp Fiction. But if it wasn't for his character, like my favorite movie of his would probably be,
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
I
There's a
lied.
lot.
I forgot he was in the movie Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I love that movie with a burning passion. He plays as the monster guy.
Mhm. I like it when he plays bad guys.
He's
He doesn't
really
do it
good
very
at
often. When he does it, it's pretty good.
He's really good at it.
So, but yeah, I like. He's done too many fucking movies, man. Just too many to like nail one down, you know, because he's done a lot of good shit. Anyway, that's Samuel L. Jackson. Let's move on. Let's get into what everybody's been watching this week here.
What the hell have you been watching?
Let's start with Jeremiah, man. What'd you watch?
Same thing she did.
Oh,
Where's it at? Right here. Blockers, Boy Kills World. It's fucking excellent.
I haven't.
that
I
good?
want to. I have it, and I want to watch
It's
it.
fucking excellent.
Is it? I keep
Yeah.
hearing good things. So
Yeah, what would we fucking buy? Macarons. There's a scene in there where he has to act like a chef, so he just starts fucking like shoving macarons into his mouth and talking about how fucking delicious they were. We never had them, so I went out.
you know
to
who voices him, right?
Yeah, H. John Benjamin.
Yeah, the guy who
Yeah.
does Archer.
Yeah, so I went out to Kroger's and ended up getting some. They were actually pretty fucking good. They were.
They were.
He wasn't lying.
Man, these fucking things are good.
You want to do the next one?
Friday the 13th. Fuck.
Jack wanted to watch it. the
Which
original.
one?
The first
First one.
one.
The first one.
Yeah.
He's
Was he
like,
expecting to see Jason and?
yeah, he's been playing the game and he's kind of
Yeah.
obsessed with it right now. So he was like, can we watch the Jason movies? And I'm like, sure. So we watched the first one. And before we watched the first one, mind you, he was like, we're going to watch 3 a day until they're done. And I'm like, oh, okay. Right. So we watched the first one and that was it. So I'm pretty sure
He's just done with it.
he might be done with the movies at this point because we watched it and he was like, so it was his mom. I'm like, yeah. and I was going through, like the final girl and how she just dropped everything. Like she'd pick something up and like just drop it, pick something up and drop it. And he was like, yeah, that was really stupid.
They're coming out with that Killer Clowns from Outer Space game. It's
Yeah.
going to be like that Jason game.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be the same.
He loves Killer Clowns,
So
dude.
he might like that game. It comes out on the 7th, I would think, or the 4th.
Oh, we might
It
have
comes
to
out
look
like
at
in a
that.
week. It comes out in like a week.
We might have to look again.
My manager recommended that
If you buy it now, if you buy it now, you get to play it early. So like you can pre-purchase the game and play it early, like 7 days early. So just so you're
You know
aware.
how much you love
And I think
them.
it's only like $30 or $40 for the game.
Dude, I showed him that movie.
When's his birthday?
It's in December. Yeah. So I showed him that movie.
Just buy him the damn game.
Well, I would buy it, for all of us, but
Right.
he'd end up being the one playing it. But like I showed him that movie, and dude, he watched it. I swear to you, over and over and over again for like months, and then he had to be the little one for like Halloween that year. Oh my god, he was insane over that movie for a while.
That's a good
Dude,
movie.
if you want me to
It's
take
a
him
good
trick or
B
treating this year, because I take the boys trick or treating last year, I'll take him trick or treating. I'll dress up as a clown with him.
I don't know if he'd want to do it again, but he still has the costume.
Somewhere.
He doesn't have to be the same clown. I'll get him a new costume. I don't care.
He loves Shorty.
Shorty.
Shorty's his favorite. He
That's
said
awesome.
he actually got the costume with the
The boxing.
boxing gloves,
Really?
and he'd walk around going put up your dukes.
Bruce Almighty. That was another one Jack wanted to watch. The Innocents. Far From Home. The Beekeeper.
Oh god.
You didn't like it?
It was okay.
I thought it was all right.
It was a pretty big, it was a
Standard.
action movie.
It brought me.
From
It
action
definitely
flick.
put me back in the old action flick.
Yeah,
era.
it's definitely an old, that it's predictable action formula, but
Mhm.
it was better than I anticipated.
Yeah, I like the ending.
I do too.
And we did kind of a Fred Olin Ray double feature yesterday.
What is it?
Fred Olin Ray, he's a kind of like a B-rated,
He was
Yeah, back in
over
the
the
day.
past 10 years or so. He did nothing but
like Christmas
Christmas
movies, Hallmark
for some
shit.
fucking weird reason. But Evil Tunes, which he made a point to show each girl's titties twice.
Yeah, at least.
Like even the nerdy egghead chick, like somehow like
We only get to see those
the
once,
horror
though.
convinced her to get naked.
We only see her the once.
down!
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, put that cookie down.
We only get to see hers
then,
once.
And then Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers.
Yeah.
Which had Gunnar Hansen in it, and he was the
Like cult leader.
cult pimp,
Cult pimp leader.
yeah, of the Chainsaw Girls.
Mhm.
So that was kind of neat.
It's good
Jesus
times.
Christ, man.
Yeah.
What if I put M&M's in the freezer?
I say we make a weekend out of
You
it.
get
sometime.
frozen chocolate.
Yeah.
Dude, they'll be so good.
Okay,
Why don't you just put a Hershey bar in there?
that's what I do.
Because I have M&M's, not a Hershey bar.
Eh.
Talking about those M&Ms.
Yeah, those M&M's. About to get up and get 'em.
You do you.
Anyway, what'd you watch, Madison?
Guess. 3 guesses. Guess what season I'm on.
Season
12.
12.
Shut up.
You said to guess.
I already told you. It's
No,
not
you
guessing
didn't.
if you know.
You were still on 11 whenever I talked to you last about
No,
it.
I said I'm
guessed,
almost on
right?
season 12. That's
he
like
he
telling
did
you.
he did actually guess 12.
Oh,
He did,
seriously?
yeah.
I am on season
Me and your
12
dad actually
now.
said it at the same time.
Mhm. Season 12. Good for
Of
you.
Supernatural. And his mom just came back from the dead, which I already knew that would happen because I watched that episode.
I
with Dad
hated
during
that.
dinner.
It's stupid. It's part of the reason why I've slowed down on the show. I'm just like,
I hate
"Dumb."
Mary. Mary's character's stupid.
She is
I'm
stupid.
speed running
She's
through
very
the last 3
stupid.
seasons, you guys. I'm speed
I
running.
cannot
through these
stand
ones.
Mary.
I don't really like her much either.
She's probably the worst decision that they made in that whole freaking show.
Yeah, and then like,
Why couldn't they should have left the Roadhouse people and just kept Mary dead.
yeah.
I would have.
I think one of the worst things about this show,
Is
though,
Ash Roadhouse people?
Yeah,
What's
Ash
the
and
Roadhouse people?
Ash and
The Roadhouse bar.
Yeah, the Roadhouse bar.
like
with
Joe
Ash
and them.
Yeah,
Oh,
Joe
yeah.
and keep all them people and keep Mary out of it.
Yeah.
Do
Or
bring those
why didn't they
people
bring
back?
his dad back instead? Like, why did they bring Mary back? Like,
I don't know.
so dumb.
Like, and the girl says, "I'm gonna bring back something you need now." Like, I don't think he needed his mom.
No, he needs his dad.
Yeah, I don't think he needed his mom anymore, though.
I don't know.
He's a 37-year-old man.
The show just gets kind of like. It's like Logan said. He told me, he said, where do you go after you fucking beat God in his sister? Like, after that, what do you do with the show?
I did call Chuck being God though,
Did you?
long before, like when he was the scribe or whatever it was,
Prophet.
and the prophet. Before, like while he was the prophet, I said I think he's God, and Jeremiah was like, "What do you mean?" And I was like, "I think he's God." And then when he disappeared at the end, I was like, "I think he's God."
There you go.
And then later he came back, and I was like, "He's God." And he's like, "It still doesn't make sense for him to be God." And then like later, I was
It's
like,
kind of
he's
dumb,
totally
but
God.
it's a good use of that character, I guess.
"Oh, I
thi-
thought Chuck being God was actually pretty cool."
I liked Chuck, so
But I
it didn't
hated
bother me.
that he was like a bad guy because I hated what they did with his character. I hated
Yeah.
that whole arc. I thought that was so dumb how they could have done so much more with that storyline. I feel like
I think the whole show
When was he a bad guy?
has, well, as God, he's a bad guy. He's kind of a bad guy.
he goes on a power trip and he like that didn't seem like Chuck at all. Like as a it just
Character.
they could have done so much more with that storyline, and they could have done more with it.
They
That would have
definitely
made more
didn't know that he
sense.
was God in the beginning, where they first made his character, because like he had Chuck fallen in love with this girl, blah blah blah, this
Mhm.
and that. It's like, okay, you didn't know he was God before all that.
Mm-mm.
So
I
it was
had a
weird.
feeling though, just because like he disappeared, and just this certain little nuances with the way that he wrote things, it just seemed like they had something bigger in mind with him. And I was like, I think he's gonna be God. I think they're going in that direction. And it turned out he was.
Whatever.
You
Anyway,
probably found out. You were like, "Oh, I knew it."
I did. I didn't spit out my candy or anything, but yeah, I did.
that's your mess down there.
Anyway.
Is that all you watched?
No, I watched the Fifth Element.
And
I loved it. I
that's
know.
amazing.
I know. I love the girl with the orange hair. I loved her outfit.
We
It was
lose
kind of a lot, but I loved it a
Mhm.
lot because I think it just went with her. It was a
It's
really
Mila
good movie.
Jovovich. She's been in all kinds of shit.
Mhm.
She was in all the Resident Evil movies.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah. Because
That's-
wasn't her husband the one who directed The Fifth Element?
Well, he became her husband after the movie.
That's what I'm-
yeah.
Resident
Her and
Evil.
him actually.
Yeah, the movies, that whole fucking string of movies, them shitty movies that they did.
Yeah, her and him were
She's
actually
the
the
main
only two
character.
that
I
could
don't think I've ever seen it.
speak the language, the divine language. She actually learned how to speak it,
Mhm.
and he knew how to speak it because he made it up.
Wait, what? I wasn't listening.
The divine language that she speaks.
Yeah.
Him and her and the director, they ended up getting married. She learned the divine language, and he could speak it too because he made it up.
They made it up and made their own language.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I love
Mila
that movie.
Jovovich, man. I used to have the hots for her bad back in the day.
She's very pretty.
She's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Is that
Perfect.
it?
I think so. Yeah.
I didn't watch much either. I watched. We finished the first season of Fresh Prince of Bel Air, and then we watched. We're still. I think we watched another episode of The Outer Range with Josh Brolin in that. We still haven't. We're not like getting in any hurry to finish the show. And then we watched Sting, that movie about the spider, the big spider. No,
Is that an older movie?
no, just
That
came
just
out.
came out.
I was thinking of that one that we watched that was it had that giant, I think I had a giant spider, the one with the dinner party people or whatever, and there was like all those bugs. But I think that might have been called Stung or something.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was on Hulu.
Wow.
Stung.
Yeah, Stung.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one's older.
yeah, that's what I was asking.
No, this one's just called Sting. It's about these people who live in an apartment complex, and this spider, it's an alien spider. It like comes in at the very
old.
beginning.
Of course it
From
is.
2015.
That's fucking 9 years old.
It's not that old.
It's an older movie.
I said older.
It's not that old, you guys.
9 years ago is kind of old for a movie.
Nuh-uh.
You're talking about the difference between 2 decades. Anyway. Anyway, the movie, it's about a spider that comes in, and it comes in like this like little meteor, and it lands inside this apartment complex. And it like starts out eating cockroaches, blah, blah, blah. And then it moves on to like eating people, obviously. And it just gets bigger and bigger. It's pretty good. It's a good short movie. It wasn't too long, which is what I liked about it. It was about an hour and a half long. And it was good, short, sweet. And it had a couple of good kills in it. And if you don't like spiders, that's a good horror movie for you.
I don't care for spiders all that much, but I don't think it would bother me.
It didn't bother me that much, but like Madison couldn't sit through it.
I don't like spiders.
So, anyway, that's all I watched. I didn't really watch anything else. I didn't have much time this week. Did you miss our what you've been watching?
Yeah, it was around 40 minutes or so.
No, it wasn't. But whatever.
45 minutes. What was around then? If you know.
What?
Do you know?
No, I don't know.
Then it was around 40 minutes.
My God. I'd rather have Jackson sitting here. At least he doesn't argue with me.
It makes for fun, though.
He just sits here in silence and just kind of takes it in.
Wait, our cat never came back this week.
No, he was here last week, though.
Yeah. Maybe he's just running late.
Maybe.
He was here last week?
Yep.
Seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Show already started. He's only missed half the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
dead.
all we watched. Let's move on here. Let's get into our movie this week.
Let's talk about the movie.
This week we watched Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Woo!
Yeah.
Which I don't understand the name, With a Vengeance. Die Hard with a Vengeance.
He
Brothers
died
After Revenge?
hard at
Huh?
the
The
end
Brothers
with
After
a vengeance.
Revenge?
I know, but with a vengeance?
Yeah.
Yeah, he died with a vengeance.
Yeah.
He still had it.
Yeah, he did. He still had his... He never got his vengeance. So he died with it.
Died pretty hard with a vengeance.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway.
You didn't know?
We got
Die
there.
Hard 2, Die Harder.
Yeah, Die Harder.
They died pretty
Which is
hard.
still one of the best names.
Yeah,
to a
that
sequel
it
ever.
really is.
Die Hard. Die Harder. You
That might
can't
have-
write this stuff.
That might
man.
be the best title in film history.
I don't think I ever realized that it was called Die Harder until
No.
we did the movie. I'm like, this movie is called Die Hard, Die Harder.
Uh-huh. Which only Rennie Harlan. Only.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
Anyway.
Amazing.
Anyway, I'm just glad that this wasn't a Christmas movie because it had some references.
I
in
was going
there.
to say, there's so many Christmas
There's
references.
a lot of references
though.
in there, like I'm Santa Claus, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah.
did you see the guy going down here? He had 8 reindeer dressed on red, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, really jolly smile.
Yeah, goes by the name of Santa Claus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some rosy cheeks.
All right. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and get into this one, and Karen's gonna give us our plot.
New York detective. Oh, sorry.
No, you're good, man. Have at it.
New York detective John McClane is back and kicking bad guy butt in the 3rd installment of this action-packed series, which finds him teaming with civilian Zeus Carver to prevent the loss of innocent lives. McClane thought he'd seen it all until a genius named Simon engages McClane, his new partner, and his beloved city in a deadly game that demands their concentration.
You mean Jesus?
Yeah, Jesus. 2 hours and 8 minutes, rated R. Bruce Willis as McClane, Samuel L. Jackson as Zeus Carver, Jeremy Irons as Simon. Yeah, that's, I guess, really it.
Kyra Sedgwick's brother,
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
somewhere.
Who?
Kyra Sedgwick, Kevin Bacon's wife. Her brother's in there. Play some dude named Rolf. But I don't even think you ever hear the name Rolf at all.
Yeah, Rolf Robert Cedric. Like, he's like way down here.
Which one is he? I mean, what does he look like?
I don't know. I can look it up.
Say, I know that one of the henchmen from The Mask was in this movie. You just don't see him very much. The one with the rat tail from The Mask, with the bald head and the rat tail. You know which one I'm talking about? No.
I do.
He was one of the henchmen for the mob guy.
Adrian?
For Adrian, yeah. But
And
he's
you know how
in
long
this-
it's been since I've seen that.
But he's very
Yeah.
like you can barely see him. You like barely notice him in the movie.
Oh. That's Rolf.
Who's Rolf? What's he look like?
Not sponsored.
Who is he? Who was he in the movie? Oh, he was he was dressed like the cop.
Cop.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was the cop.
Yeah,
was
that's
he the
definitely
one-
her brother. You can see it now. Yep.
Do you want an M&M?
No.
Oh, he was in Tales from the Dark Side. He was the chick's boyfriend.
I ain't never seen it.
You never seen Tales from the Dark? Oh.
Nah.
No, it's chocolate.
She don't like chocolate.
I feel like
Trying
I
to
knew
find this
that.
dude. Of course, he doesn't have a fucking.
Well, actually, it depends on what's with it. Like, she'll eat a Rolo. Because it's got caramel. She'll eat caramel Cadbury eggs.
Regular Cadbury eggs, too.
Like those dollar candy bars you get
Yeah.
for fundraisers. She'll eat the caramel chocolate ones.
Yeah, I don't see him on here. Oh wait, there
Sure
he is.
will.
His name is Nils Allen Stewart. He's been in a bunch of stuff.
He's probably one of those guys.
He's one of those guys. You're like, it's that guy.
You see his face and you're like, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
I know that guy.
What was he in?
I wonder if he's even credited as being in Die Hard 3.
Henchman.
That's what he would be. He'd be a henchman.
Henchman number 5.
What year did Die Hard with Vengeance come out?
95.
95. Oh, let's keep scrolling here though.
I knew there was a 5 in it.
Dude, this dude's done a lot of fucking movies. Holy
Oh my
shit.
God.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Pretty sure he was the one shooting Stanley when he was on that stage or whatever.
Mhm.
He was
Yeah,
doing that
Yeah.
weird
Yeah.
dodging the bullet shit.
Trying to see. I'd say 95 it came out?
95.
God damn. There's so many. So 94 he was in The Mask. Let's see here. 95 Raw Tower. 95. I don't see it.
Maybe I'm wrong.
96. I feel like he was probably in. Well, I don't know. I think The Mask came out after Die Hard, didn't it?
No, it's 1995. Die Hard with a Vengeance. Maybe he wasn't credited in Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Might not have been, because you can barely see him. Pretty sure that's... Yeah, that was him. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Who gives a shit? All right, anyway, let's go around the table here. Would you recommend? Madison.
Yeah, I would watch and recommend, but you kind of have to see. I mean, you don't have to see the other ones to watch this one, but it's kind of recommended.
It kind of goes along with the story a little bit.
Yeah.
Slightly. Yeah, I would totally watch and recommend. This movie's quality as fuck. It's probably the best one of the whole series.
This was actually the first one I ever saw.
Like in general, maybe.
No, shit,
I had
we'll watch the other
never
ones.
watched the first one until he made me watch it like a couple years ago.
Yeah, for Christmas.
Yeah, yeah. And I think I like the first one better.
You still like the first one better? A
Mhm.
lot of people do.
But yeah, I'd watch it and recommend it.
What about
Yes
you?
and yes.
Yes and yes. Damn fucking chords.
You okay over there?
You put them there.
Madison, nobody asked for your lip, dude.
I like the lone wolf
love
thing of the
you.
first one.
The what?
The lone wolf thing of the
I do
first
too,
one.
but I like him having. I like the Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, I like the
dynamic
back and
between
forth.
the two of them.
It adds a comedic element,
Yeah.
but I just
And I
don't
think
know.
that's what they were trying to go for there too, a
Mhm.
little bit. Like, all right, well, he's always on his own. Let's give him like,
Yeah, you definitely have a partnership there in this one. You have like a team thing, and you get the comedic element. You get a little more out of it. I don't know.
That
I like
and
that.
a lot of things they argued about and how they said everything was
Yeah.
like, they would actually say it like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 I just liked how he had to be so like inventive in the first one, and he had to, I just like that.
Yeah,
I really like the first one a lot too. I like that one more than all of them that I've seen.
Yeah.
All right.
How
Well,
many is there?
we're gonna
4
go
of them?
ahead. There's 5 of them.
Five
There's
of
2
them?
more that came out late, much later.
I was gonna say, how where
Liv-
can
I've
you?
Liv-
only seen up to 4. I don't know if I've ever seen
The
the 5th one.
only other one I've ever seen, I saw this one, then I saw the one that had Justin Long in it.
That's Live Free Die
Where
Hard.
can you
Okay.
go
That's the
after
4th
this
one, right?
That's the
though?
4th one.
Okay, I don't think
Okay.
I've seen the 5th
The
one.
5th one is A Good Day to Die Hard.
And then I saw the first one, and then the second one.
Yeah, the 5th one is the one with Jai Courtney plays his son.
Hmm.
And it's over in, I believe, Moscow or some shit. It takes place
Okay.
in Russia.
Where can you go with the story after that though?
Well, I mean, the last 2 were more about him and his kids. Like the Live Free Die Hard has him and his daughter, and then the 5th one is him trying to go over to Moscow or whatever, and he's trying to bring his son home.
You know
Because
the
his
only
son's
reason.
also an operative of some kind.
You know the only reason you never see Holly again.
Why?
They were actually supposed to be married, like, for the rest of the thing. Like their marital problems were supposed to go away, and they were going to be happily married. But the actress just didn't want to do it anymore.
Why?
So just bring back a different actress.
dumb.
Nobody cares.
I don't think people would accept that as well.
No,
She was in the
people
first
really
2.
don't. Yeah, people really don't respond well to that usually.
And why do that if you could just write her out completely?
Mhm.
So, all right. Anyway,
they
I'm gonna
already
go ahead
already set that up as they were having marital
Right.
problems. They might as well just go. You know what? Divorce.
Right. All right. I'm going to go ahead and read this. All right. So the antagonist in this movie is Simon Gruber, played by Jeremy Irons, the brother of Hans Gruber, Alan Rickman, who, like Irons, was an English actor playing
The
a
worst
German.
ever.
Yeah, no shit.
His German accent.
Who's that? Jeremy Irons?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it was
wasn't
like
good. Like it's funny because he starts out at the beginning of the movie with like a solid German accent.
yeah, it was like
And then it seems like as the movie goes on, he just kind of loses his accent.
Well, that was like Hans and Die Hard.
yeah, like
Like his went back and forth so much. I guess
Yeah.
it's kind of.
maybe they I mean they're brothers, so I don't. He just sounded like some like high school drama kid, like just trying to do a German accent.
Yeah.
But he did look like he could be his brother with blonde hair. Honestly, like
I thought he did too.
He
I
could
thought
pass
pulled it.
for it. They did good
Well,
for
even
that.
their accents and everything, like they sounded
Mhm.
similar. Like okay,
I think the part of his accent that kept getting to me was when he would do the we like we z it's like I don't think Germans really enunciate that well.
it's the
That
neighbors. That dude next door does not give a shit about anybody's. Doesn't care. He'll be out here at 11 o'clock at night banging around.
Mhm.
His lights on in his garage, shining up through my bedroom window. Everything. He does not fucking care. Does not give a shit. I'm gonna end up going.
You
off on him.
you never get lucky with neighbors.
I'm gonna end up going off on him one day. I'm like, dude,
Have
he's in
some
his like early 20s
have some
or something.
courtesy.
That's
I mean,
the one with the giant sloth in the garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want that sloth.
He thinks he's cool because he's got this shitty Jeep next door that it doesn't have a muffler and it's loud as fuck. Yeah, it's very annoying. And we'll be like almost asleep and he'll start that fucker up. It's like, God damn you, dude. Like, it's really annoying.
But when he leaves the top off, I'm gonna just like
I'm
throw
up.
some paint in it.
No, if he ever leaves the top off up and I'm upstairs, I'm going to piss right out my window into his seat. That smells like piss in here.
They'll do it too.
That's hilarious.
Fuck.
Oh shit.
So annoying. Anyway, Hans was a German criminal who was killed by McClane and the climax of Die Hard, the first film in the series. It first appears as though Gruber is out to avenge his brother's death, but it is later revealed that other motives are at work. He begins by blowing up a bomb in a busy street and telling the police, calling himself Simon, that McClane must walk through Harlem displaying a sandwich board reading, "I hate the N-words."
Mm-hmm.
When some offended African Americans threaten him, they are held back at gunpoint by a shopkeeper and black activist Zeus Carver. Carver gets McClane away not out of concern for a white man, but that the colleagues of a white cop might go gunning for every black man in the area if one of their own is killed. He's not wrong, actually. Like, it's not good news whenever you kill a cop. Simon now insists that this Good Samaritan has become part of the game, whether he likes it or not. Simon has planted real as well. What the fuck am I reading? Simon has planted real as well as phony. Okay, so I need to continue reading it to understand what I was reading.
Just keep going.
Yeah. Throughout the city, forces McLean and Carver to participate in a game of Simon Says, which usually consists of giving them information about a bomb and giving them a chance to defuse it. The first game happens at a public telephone. Simon calls and reads them. As I was going to St. Ives riddle. Oh, okay. So that's the name of the riddle, I suppose. To answer, huh?
You suppose?
I suppose, yeah. To answer the riddle, McLean needs to dial 555, followed by the answer within 30 seconds. They make the call, but are 10 seconds late. Simon laughs and says there is no bomb since he didn't say Simon Says.
Which was pretty hilarious.
It was pretty funny, though.
I know.
I remember that one guy was like, because they like dove and shit, and that one guy's like,
Welcome
John
to New
McClane
York.
stands up, and that dude's like looking at him like, just staring at him.
I like that the one guy gave him money.
Yeah.
Yeah, and another guy goes, "Welcome to New York."
Yeah.
McLean is told they have half an hour to go to a phone at a subway station near Wall Street. From there, they are on the Upper West Side. To do this, McLean drives through Central Park and makes a radio call for an ambulance, which they follow through heavy traffic. So there's one glaring problem that I have with this movie, and we'll get to that at the end with the ending.
I wonder if it's the same problem I have.
I have a couple of problems with the ending, but this is one glaring problem that it bothers the shit out of me.
It's not necessarily a problem. It's just a thing.
This is a problem.
Okay.
It's more of a. I would even almost go as far as calling it a plot hole. Like, it's just, yeah. Only Zeus makes it to the station to pick up the call. Simon says that McLean's absence is a breach of the rules and the bomb is detonated, but it turns out that Simon intended for the bomb to go off anyway, since an activation switch was placed on the subway tracks to detonate the bomb once the subway car hit the switch. After the bomb is detonated, they must go to another park to answer another riddle. This time Simon says, "What has 4 legs and is always ready to travel?" Zeus figures out that it is an elephant, and they find a briefcase bomb in an elephant fountain in the park. After a short argument on whether to open the briefcase, John decides to open it. When he does, an LCD screen reads, "I am a bomb. You have just armed me." Simon then calls them again, telling them they must use a 5-gallon and a 3-gallon jug to put exactly 4 gallons of water on the bomb scale to disarm it, which they do in the nick of time.
Yeah, I don't understand. How do they do that?
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention whenever they were doing it, because it was like they somehow or another they do 5 gallons. They do 3 gallons into one and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, you're still like, how do you get exactly 4 gallons out of that? Still doesn't work. You know what I mean? And it, to me, well, if you fill one up with 5 gallons, no, that still wouldn't work. I was going to say, if you fill the other one up with the 5-gallon jug, yeah, that still wouldn't work. I don't understand.
To be honest, there was something in trivia about there being like 4 different ways to do that.
Well,
I was bored with it, so I just rolled on.
You say, like, well, if you think about it, like, if you fill up a 5-gallon, so you fill up the 5-gallon jug,
and then
you dump
pour
3
it-
of that into the 3-gallon jug, but you still only have 2 gallons in the one jug. How do you get the other 2 gallons?
Magic.
Yeah. And he said you can't be an ounce over or an ounce under. And I'm like, that would be really hard to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, I honestly, I
Even
kind of,
with filling it to the tippy top.
I probably should have been paying a little more attention, I guess. I just, was bored with that
I'll
one.
look it up, actually.
Yeah, I have no idea.
That riddle bored me.
Yeah, well, it happened so fast that I was like, wait, hold on. How the fuck did they do that? Because John McClane spits it all out really fast. And I'm like, okay, I didn't.
Fill the 3-gallon jug, pour it into a 5-gallon jug. Fill the 3-gallon jug again, and then fill the 5-gallon jug until it is full, leaving 1 gallon left in the 3-gallon jug. Dump out the 5-gallon jug, then pour your remaining 1 gallon into the 5-gallon jug. Then fill the 3-gallon jug and add it to the 1 gallon in the 5 gallons.
Got it?
Got it. Okay, yep, that's
I think
it.
so, yeah.
Yep, that's it.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes
Okay.
sense. Anyway,
I don't even remember what was your flaw.
John McClane was way too like hungover to like be able to get, like Zeus should have been the one to have gotten that because he's the smarter guy. You know what I mean? He's the smarter
He's
one.
like, wait, I just got it.
Okay. Where was I? Have to. Okay, after a short argument on whether to open the briefcase or not. Oh wait, hold on. Did I find the briefcase? Okay, yeah. John decides to open it. When he does, an LCD. I already said that. Okay, yeah. Simon's next riddle is, what is 21 out of 42? Zeus figures out that there have been 42 presidents of the United States, but is unable to remember who the 21st was. Later, a truck driver tells McClane it is Chester A. Arthur, and it identifies a school in which Simon claims to have placed a bomb. It is later found to be Chester A. Arthur Elementary School, where Zeus's 2 nephews, Raymond and Dexter, attend. However, Simon has other plans for a bulk of his explosives, and the bomb the police find in the school is an elaborate dummy filled with pancake syrup. I mean, whatever, right?
They're soldiers, not monsters.
Yeah, even though they've killed several people as it is, whatever.
How do they know there weren't children on that busy street? How
Or
do they,
in
you know
that
what I
fucking
mean?
subway.
Yeah.
At least it's not a mass massacre of children.
Hmm.
That's all that matters.
Right.
As Zeus and McClane are traveling between distant destinations, McClane catches and reprimands a boy for stealing a candy bar. The boy comments that every cop in the city is searching for searching the schools, and one could, as the boy puts it, steal City Hall. McClane abruptly realizes that the nature of Simon's plan.
Quote, it's Christmas.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Christmas out here.
It's like Christmas out here. Someone could steal City Hall.
And then he steals his bike, and he's like, "What? It's Christmas."
So far, the police have been
Should have just started doing tallies for every Christmas reference.
There are, I'm pretty sure that was definitely done on purpose.
Oh, it was.
They
Oh,
put all
yeah.
these
It was.
Christmas references in here since
was.
the last there were Christmas movies.
It was, because I wrote all that down like, Christmas is
I'm
sure
really
mentioned
glad.
a lot.
That's
and then, like,
probably
I
one of the
looked
things that I'm glad
trivia,
they
and I'm like, oh, it
didn't
was
do
done
with
on
this movie
purpose.
was do another like Christmas, because it would have to be in New York during the winter, and I think the whole hot and sweaty like summer in New York thing really it gives it a lot more like because it's like it definitely looks a lot grittier and dingier.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Not near as much as Predator 2, but because goddamn, they sweat a lot in that movie. As far as the police have been led to believe that all this is an overblown act of revenge. However, it is a diversion from Simon's real goal to rob the high security vault in the basement of the Federal Reserve Bank of New York, which holds the gold of several foreign nations, even more than Fort Knox, which is probably not true. The need to search the thousands of schools in New York means that the police, emergency, and federal agencies are all occupied elsewhere. This enables Simon and his army of East European mercenaries to break into the vault and make their escape with a dozen dump trucks filled to the brim with gold bars.
Not to mention the idiot guy at the bank that's like, oh yeah, we had to turn off our security system because it wouldn't stop going off.
Uh-huh.
Like, who tells somebody that? I don't care who you think they are.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I wouldn't
Especially
even
a
tell-
Federal Reserve. Like,
Exactly.
What's wrong with you, dude?
I was gonna say,
You
I
fucking
wouldn't
idiot.
Do
even
you know
tell,
what you're
like-
holding down there? Like,
Yeah.
how stupid are you?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I wouldn't even tell, like... the
That's
people that
a
work there.
huge-
Holes in one city.
Oh yeah.
That's also a glaring mistake on the writer's part because that would never happen. No,
That they
nobody,
would that they would turn it off.
not only that they would turn it off. Even if they did have, like, just say for instance they did have to turn it off, that fucking place is going to be on lockdown.
It would be on lockdown. And number two, you're telling me that kind of a place would only have one kind of security system?
Well, not to mention if there's an explosion right outside that building, they're going to shut it down anyway. Everybody's going home, and they're gonna lock it down, and nobody's getting in or out.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, but
I'm telling you, they would have
For
to have
movie
some kind of
purposes.
auxiliary system.
yeah, especially if what they how many billion, like 3 billion in gold or something like that.
Oh, it was some-
retarded
some-
It was like
Crazy a
70 to
number.
172 billion or something.
Something like that.
It's
I mean,
some
it was
ridiculous
some
amount.
ridiculous number that nobody would ever be able to.
And I'm just like, I'm thinking
their
like
lives.
they would fucking have that place on lockdown with heavy security. Nobody's getting in or out.
Nope.
Like guaranteed.
Nope.
McLean and Carver see through the plan.
140 billion.
How much?
140 billion.
140 billion.
I knew it was in the 100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Like we said, billion shouldn't even be a word.
No, it's just not quantifiable. I'm sorry. It just isn't.
McLean and Carver see through the plan and catch up with the gangs as they embark their trucks on board a ship.
Which reminds me, you know how heavy gold is?
Yeah, it's heavy.
There's no fucking way, one, that they're getting out of there with that few trucks.
Yeah.
And 140 billion in gold.
Hell, you seen
And number-
Zeus?
Yeah,
well,
he was
number
having-
two.
He was trying
Yeah.
to carry
Yeah,
that
he
fucker
was
around.
like this.
Yeah. And number two, they're going to put them on boats. They're going to
Wow.
sink. I don't care. Like, come on. I'm sorry.
On boats. Well, even them dump trucks wouldn't have been able to help.
That's what I'm
handle
saying.
it.
They're not
Yeah.
getting out of there with 4 or 5 dump trucks. They
They had 12.
I don't care.
12 dump
They'd need at
trucks.
least 17 to 20. At least.
Yeah, that's a lot of dump trucks. They're going to need a lot more.
And they
dump
would need-
trucks.
15. Well, they'd need more boats than they would need dump trucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where was I? Oh, McLean and Carver see through the plan and catch up with the gang as they embark their trucks on board a ship. They are captured and left on the ship with a huge bomb. At this point, they hold a heart-to-heart with McLean, admitting that he and his wife are yet again estranged, and Carver trying to convince him to trying to at least call her. They both manage to escape the ship, but as the bomb explodes, see now this is one of my favorite parts of the movie. That part where they're coming down that that line
Mhm.
onto the ship. For one, you're fucking nuts.
Yeah. Yeah.
For two, though, dude, whenever that fucking line comes loose and it flies through and it cuts that dude in half.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you don't see it very long, but you just, like, and it's a
Yeah.
distant shot. You just see this guy fly away
Yeah,
in 2
you just
pieces.
see, like,
Mhm.
Yeah, it was so fucking, dude, I was like, that was real. I was like, that was badass. Like, because you don't see it very, like, it's just like, that line comes down and you just see him, like, upper body, lower body. Anyway, they both manage to escape the ship just as the bomb explodes. Simon has led them to believe that the gold was still aboard the ship and that the whole thing was a plot to upset the world economy. However, McLean guesses that it is yet another diversion and the gold is safely elsewhere. After suffering a horrible headache all day, McLean had finally managed to obtain a bottle of aspirin from Simon himself. Based on Carver's prompting, McLean then calls his estranged wife. As the call is connecting, McLean goes to take one of the pills, and a label on the bottom of the bottle shows that they were purchased from a pharmacy in Quebec. McLean is forced to leave the phone to pursue Simon and leaves his wife hanging on the line. This leads the action to a warehouse in Canada where Simon and his gang have indeed taken the gold. There they witness Simon's gang being caught by the Canadian police before being attacked by Simon in a helicopter. The final battle ensues, and as the helicopter hovers underneath some power lines, McClane cleverly shoots out the power lines with 2 shots, destroying the helicopter and sending Simon to join his late brother. Wow, dude. Great way to write it. As the film ends, McClane calls his wife on a nearby payphone, despite worrying about the fact that he left her on hold. The credits roll and the call is connecting.
Yippee-ki-yay,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Oh, man. So my big issue with the ending is, for one, I think that the bad guy went out too easy. It was just like, bang, bang.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And it was just kind of like, It was kind of anticlimactic and dumb, boring. Like, oh, okay, he blew up in a helicopter. Dropping his brother off at Nakatomi Tower was way cooler.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But also my other thing is, he planned this entire thing out from start to finish in New York City, but then was like throwing this big celebration and all this, that, in this warehouse, which, don't get me wrong, was in Canada. Don't ask me how they got there so goddamn fast. But like in Canada, and I'm just thinking like, you didn't think to plan farther than that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you got caught way too easy, dude. Way too easy.
Mm-hmm.
So it was one of my biggest things, like this big elaborate plan in New York City to steal all this gold, and you didn't think to plan past that. Like, you got to the warehouse, yeah, but until everybody is distributed and paid off, blah, 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 and everything's done, and like, my butthole would be clenched, and I'd have a plan. You know what I mean?
I think that you dream too big when you take $140 billion worth of gold.
True.
Like, that shit is way too heavy to try and transport any fucking where. Like, and you can't spend that money. Like, just...
No, yeah, he's like, now we just have to decide on what country we want to buy. I'm like, why? Like, you're not going to be able to spend that anywhere.
Unless you guys are all going to split up in 17 different directions with a truckload each and meet up somewhere and hope that those motherfuckers show up. Like, you're dreaming way too fucking big.
Nobody's gonna touch that fucking gold with a 10-foot pole because they're like, nope, that's the American government's money.
Well, not just the American government, Saudi Arabia and China and Switzerland. Like, you've pissed off everybody.
You've pissed off the planet at this point. They're gonna be coming for your ass.
Yeah, like, there's no way that they would have been able to keep it.
That's the biggest thing. Like, at least Gruber had like the first brother. At least he had like the. You know, like, he had a more of a realistic, like, you know, we're going to go in and steal these bonds and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Like, but, like, these dudes were like, we're going to go steal the world's money.
That's like saying...
You know what I mean? Like...
That's like, you know, and was it, what's that fucking cartoon, the Minion cartoon, where he's like, we're going to steal the moon. Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to steal the moon.
Yeah. Yeah, like, oh, we're going to steal the moon. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, no,
just
you're
shit
not.
Like that. It's just like, there's no realistic way. I don't care how elaborate your plan is. You're not getting away with it.
No.
Like, I mean,
there were actually 2 scenes too that drove me up a wall, just from a standpoint of like, okay, so the first one was the water scene, like where the water's coming through that tunnel.
Oh yeah.
And okay, so first of all, you're not going to outrun that.
No.
And second of all, when he get up on that truck and he's like surfing it. Okay,
dude, that was definitely that reminded me of Escape from L.A. all day.
Look,
like, you remember from Escape from L.A.?
Oh yeah. Look, was it
hilarious.
fun? Absolutely. Was it cool as a action scene? Absolutely. I'm not hating it. Okay.
I know the part where he comes shooting up out of that fucking manhole is hilarious.
Hilarious. But the likelihood of him doing those things, and then also right place, right time with that manhole, right?
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's on par with the second one with the whole was it the ejection seat, right? Where they're throwing like 17 grenades in
Oh,
there.
yeah.
And he gets in the ejection seat at just the right moment and gets out just in time. That's what it reminded me of. I'm like, oh, wait, it's the ejection seat all over again, you know?
Yeah, that ejection seat, though, was...
Oh, it's way
pretty
worse.
fucking-
It's way worse.
Yeah,
I'll
that
give
was
you
pretty
that.
extreme. You're like, hold on a fucking minute.
Yeah, I'll give you that. It's way worse. But that's what it reminded me of. I'm like, oh, here we are again. Like it's equivocal, I guess. And then the second one, I guess it just annoyed me because it was like, why is that even a thing? Was the scene where they show up in the helicopter to capture them, right? And they're going at it in the warehouse, and they, you know, he's like, hey, here we are, or whatever. And the girl like shoots at the helicopter. One, you're not gonna hit him with that 9mm. You're just not. And two, they look down and go, oh, I think she's pissed. They're not gonna be able to see him. Not from their vantage point.
I
They're
think,
not gonna be able to look
I
in
think
that-
they could see her through the window with the light shining, because they had the light shining in.
They're not gonna be able to tell who they are.
Maybe. I don't know. I believe more
Nah.
of that than I could her shooting, like getting, like she was just mad because she was trying to get a piece. And
Sure, but either way, she's not gonna hit that helicopter. Number one.
John
Right?
McClane interrupted that
And number
shit. Like,
two-
I don't get laid, you don't get laid.
Number two, the fact that she, you know, that they're like, oh, she's mad. They can't see in there. They can't tell what's going on in there. I don't know. It's just annoying to me. I'm like, that's pointless.
I believe that more than some of the other shit in this movie.
Oh, I sure, but
like,
it was just point. It was a
there-
pointless scene.
There's a lot of like I said,
pointless.
there's a lot of glaring plot holes and things like
For
little
sure.
unrealistic. But you know, obviously, you have to set aside. You got to suspend your disbelief in a lot of things because it's a fucking movie. It's an action movie.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's a Die Hard movie at that.
Well, and you know, one thing too, I think that this was more just a bad cut, but when he's beating that dude with the chain, I even had him rewind it because like he's beating that dude with the chain, right?
Where did he gain the upper hand in that fight?
Yeah, like so he's just beating
I
him
thought
with
the
the chain.
same thing.
Well, he's beating him with the chain, and then next thing you know, he's got it around his neck and he's done.
Yeah.
I feel like we missed like half of that fight.
Yeah. I was like, what happened here? Because he was just getting his ass kicked, and now he's beating this dude with a chain. And then he runs away. I'm like, where did he gain
But
the upper hand?
he was beating him with the chain, and then all of a sudden the chain was around the dude's neck.
Oh, yeah, right.
Like it was a
Like,
bad
you never
like,
actually seen him put it
around his
around.
neck.
He just beat him. And
Like
then,
they cut that out in the
Yeah.
editing
yeah, and
process.
then like
Like,
it
we
just
missed-
showed up with him laying there with the chain wrapped around.
Like we
his
missed
neck.
like half that fight.
Yeah. And then the dude
Maybe
shows
they
up on the boat and they
accidentally
kill
cut
him
it and they just
It
anyway.
was just a bad
Yeah.
cut or something because
Yeah.
they didn't make it a very believable cut at all. It was just
Yeah. It was, that definitely, that fight should have been more prevalent in the movie too.
Yeah, 'cause they built that guy
he was
up
one
like
of the
this.
main bad
Yeah.
guys. He was the
Yeah.
guy who made all the fucking bombs.
yeah, they built that guy up.
He
And
was,
then-
he was beating the shit out of him there for a minute too.
For
though.
sure. The other thing, whenever Samuel L. Jackson screams a certain way, all I can hear in my head is Frozen. Where is my super suit?
Yeah.
Like that's all I can hear.
It's the tone in his voice. I love it.
hmm
He uses the same tone.
Every time, whenever he would scream a certain way, I'm like, there it
Like, I
is.
can't unhear it.
hmm
Can't unhear it.
It's funny because you hear certain things throughout the movie and you're like, that's going to play a part later on. Like the part in the truck at the beginning. And he's like, you still playing the lottery? He's like, yep, still playing my badge number, 6991 or whatever the
Mhm.
fuck it was. And I'm like,
Yep.
that'll come back later. And of
Mhm.
course it does.
Look.
And
Foreshadowing.
yeah. I hate it when I hate glaring foreshadowing in movies. Like you're like, you know, give me some like shit that, but then again, I guess you kind of get mad too whenever people bring up something that looks like foreshadowing and then it never goes anywhere later on in the movie. Like, what was the point of this?
Yeah.
Like, what was the point of this? But then you're like, other times you're like, that was obvious and it was unnecessary. Like, you just wish it wasn't there so easily.
hmm
Well, you also don't want it to be like too hidden because you want people to understand it too.
Right. And it's a fine line to walk, I guess.
Yeah.
But are you guys, is that all your notes or you guys
Yeah.
good?
Yeah. I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
You good, Jeremiah? All right, let's rate this bitch.
Let's go this bitch.
Here we go.
My
Timestamp.
turn?
Timestamp.
Oh.
128, 49.
128,
I got it.
49-ish.
49-ish. 69 dudes.
69, dude. See, that's you need a pump for that.
69.
69 dudes, Bill Ted. When would it come into play? I have no idea. But might be fun to hit every now and then.
I'm gonna go with. Wait, what did you guys go with?
We didn't go with anything.
We
What the fuck are you
didn't.
talking about?
128.49 is what we all went with.
No, you guys were saying percentages, right?
No.
The last numbers that were 128.49.
We're not doing the review.
69.
We need your review first.
I thought we did Rotten Tomatoes.
No, why do you think that?
I don't know.
Every
I always
week.
get
Every
confused.
time. Every time. We
Our
never do
reviews,
that.
then Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
She just ain't in it, guys. She doesn't actually like this podcast.
I do. I love it here.
I love it here.
I love it here.
As she faces away from the camera when she says it.
Like
They're
Theo.
holding a gun under the table. Please help me.
Blink twice if you're okay.
He has it taped here. He's just waiting.
All right, give us your review.
I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 6 because it was okay, but it wasn't as good as the first one. So I don't know. I just wasn't as interested as it was the first one. Sorry to disappoint, Dad. I know you really
Oh,
liked
that's
this
fine.
one. I do that. I really
Sure
liked
review.
the first one. It brought more to the table, but I like the original formula more of him by himself with all of his one-liners. Yeah. It was still a good movie, though. I'll give it a 6.5, actually. It was a good movie.
6.5.
Yeah.
For me, I really like this movie. I've always liked this movie. Is it better than the first one? I mean, there's a lot of things that could point to no, but I don't know, man. Watching it this time, I'm like, maybe the first one is better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
me
I really
neither.
do, but I really love this movie.
We talked about it. I've been thinking about it.
Yeah, like, I used to love this one a lot more than any of them, but I think it was always because of Samuel L. Jackson. And it was more of an open space. Like, it was all throughout New York. But the more I think about it, I kind of like the confined thing with the first one. You know,
I like the
whole
fact that he
tower
had to
crawl.
be on his feet
Yeah.
himself. The cat and mouse thing, I love that. I just like the first one
Yeah.
better.
It was like Tom and Jerry.
I mean, it's still a great movie, don't get me wrong. I still really love this movie, and it's still better than the second one. Even though, really, after watching the second one, the more I think about it, I still liked it a lot. It's not my favorite of all by any means, but I think the third one, I think I'm going to give it an 8 because it's still a great movie, and Samuel L. Jackson sells everything he's in. You know what I mean? Like that he's a bankable movie star, 100% every time. So it's a great movie. I'm going to give it an 8.
So, for me, the action's there, that teamwork, that partnership,
Yeah,
it's there.
that's another thing that's great about it. Is
Yeah.
like him getting a partner is
Yeah.
awesome.
It gives a lot of comedy, gives some depth that it's kind of missing, especially in the second one. I feel like you get that depth in the first one because you get it between him and Hans in a way. It's not a teamwork by any means, but it's
Well, he gets it a little bit through that cop though in the first one too.
yeah, absolutely. You get that depth there in the first one in different ways. Not
Carl.
you get it in different ways in the first one. Not exactly a partnership, but you get it. But in this one, you've got that teamwork and partnership and a comedy. I liked, like you said, that open world kind of thing where they're running through and they're doing all these different kind of riddles and things like that. That was kind of cool, but it really didn't hold my attention very well. Not like the first one, not where I was like glued to the screen.
The riddles were kind of,
Yeah, I mean,
I get why, but it just didn't.
I really thought that it would, and I really remember the first time thinking it was really, really good. But this time it just didn't hold my attention as well. And I mean, the first one, I was like glued to the screen,
right.
And in this one, I feel like it's kind of a light repeat of the first one's, plot a little bit. Because there's like this, you think the bad guys are doing one thing, but oh, nope, just kidding. They're actually doing this, look over here because we don't want you looking over here because this is what we're really doing. It was kind of like there was no originality to their actual overall arc. because it's already been done.
Yeah.
And I just felt that they relied way too heavily on the first one. They relied too heavily on Hans's story and didn't give Simon enough props of his own. And I thought that he could. I thought he could stand on his own. I thought that he was strong enough to do that. They just didn't do it. So
The fourth one is a lot like this one, though, too, in a lot of ways.
I think that they found a formula that worked in the first one, and then they just kind of kept revamping it and reusing it in certain ways, and it keeps failing because everybody's like, yeah, we've seen this already, though. Like, can we get something different? Like, I'm not saying that it's terrible. It's just that it worked so well in the first one because it was the first time we saw it. And now it's like, this is just a rehashing. Like, you're not surprising me. I need something new,
Right.
you know? So I'm going to go with Madison. I'm going to give it a 6.5 because of the unoriginality of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jeremiah?
I'd probably give it a 7. I like the teamwork. I loved the first half with the riddles, and then after that, it just kind of followed. I guess the first one kind of
Your basic action movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like me and her, we were talking. She said the first one. I was like, I think I like this one. But after giving it some go, I'm probably going to have to go back. Probably the first one's my favorite out of them. So yeah, I mean,
I'd have to agree. I think the first one's my favorite too.
Yeah.
Because like after watching them all, like especially these three again, like the last two are like they're not like they're not like the first three. They're definitely a lot different in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And they're more of just straight up action movies. You know what I mean? Like the fourth one is actually a lot like the third one, where there's this main villain. He's kind of like, giving him the runaround through, actually it takes place in DC, I believe. And it's just like, a rampage through town, essentially. It's just more explosions and blah, blah, blah. But I liked it. But I think that with these first three especially, they you get something out of the first two that the third one kind of fails to recapture. And the first one, especially with the being in the tower, being the only guy, you know what I mean, taking on this whole group of terrorists, and then moving into the second one, you kind of have that same thing. Only it's more of a homeland kind of deal where you got American soldiers and things like that, and that's what he's dealing with. And then in this one, you get like. I think it was supposed to hit harder because you had that path of revenge. But that revenge doesn't hit because you find out, well, he's not even on a path of revenge. It's all a ploy to get, to this bank and get this gold and blah, blah, blah. I think if they would have taken away the whole gold aspect and made it more about giving John McClane the run around through town and fucking
made it kind of personal,
made it more personal, I think it would have hit a lot harder. Mm-hmm. Instead of making it about, it's this heist.
They could have still thrown in that twist to say, like, look over here, don't look over here, but still make it personal.
Extremely. Like, I agree with that. Like, because obviously he's not going to have a bunch of henchmen and they're just going to want to hunt down John McClane because they killed his brother.
Right.
So, yeah, they're going
to want to get paid. They're going to want something. Yeah.
But, like, the problem with that is that, like, you take away that, like, this is the third movie feeling. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to bring in this dude's brother, path of revenge, make it more personal. It's not personal enough. It never was. I mean, they don't even share the screen, but for like, 2 minutes?
Something like that.
An entirety of 2 minutes, and that was on the boat? That's about it.
Yeah.
So, it's just...
And he commits that, that mortal sin, too, where it's like, oh, here's that aspirin. You're gonna die anyway.
Any other guy would be like, no, fuck you. You're gonna die with a headache. You know what I mean?
Like well, you're going to die anyway, so here, I'm going to give you this fatal flaw in my plan. I'm going to give you the address where we'll be.
Exactly.
Like, who puts the address of something on the bottom of their aspirin bottle?
Yeah. I didn't understand that anyway. Or how he even picked up, like, this is where they are. Like, because of an aspirin bottle?
I don't know about you. I've never had an aspirin bottle that I'm going, oh, you know what? I don't know.
Maybe I'll
Let
just
me
my-
write this down.
My
Or,
evil plan here.
yeah. Or
Yeah.
like, it was
Oh,
even typed too. Like,
well, that
like,
and
who-
like even if you did have an aspirin bottle, what's the with the address on? What's the likelihood that that's where they are?
But even
You know what I mean?
But,
Like,
but
there
still,
you go.
okay, but
There's a plot hole.
well, but that's what I'm saying. Like, first of all, if the address is on there, where did it come from? Is that where you bought the aspirin,
Or was that
Or-
just where it was made?
or what? But
There's a lot of
it
things.
doesn't
to
look
yeah.
like a warehouse that makes aspirin.
He just did like an entire
the whole gold bullion.
He did 6 months of detective work in like 30 seconds.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So, like-
It would make more sense that he would be like, I'm going to forget that address, so let me type it and then glue it to the bottom of this aspirin bottle. That would make more
the
sense
whole
than.
gold bullion plot was just a cover up for some dark, sinister.
They just should have never made it.
aspirin.
They should
Fake
have.
aspirin
Yeah.
He
plot.
was the guy that did the Tylenol thing in the 90s, wasn't he?
I thought it was the 80s.
Yeah, whenever it was.
I think that the
just
boat
found it
should have
out.
never
Just figured
left.
it out.
I don't think that the boat should have ever left New York City. I think that they should have never been able to get to that warehouse, and they should have faced off right there on the boat.
Well, technically, it really should have sunk, but
Right. But I think that they should have faced off right there on the boat. Him and Jeremy
yeah,
Irons.
it should have been
That's where the
a
climax
done deal
of the
right there.
movie should
Yeah,
have been.
Yep.
Like, hands
and
down.
it should have been between the two of them. It should have been, it should have been that classic action ending where the sirens show up, but it's already over. He's sitting there all bloody. Jeremy Irons is dead.
Sam Jackson's like giving him a pat on the back. Like,
Yeah,
good
like-
job, man.
yeah,
Here's
like-
a quarter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's you get that. It's more satisfying. It's way more satisfying.
I agree. I just there's things about this movie that could have made it way better, but I mean the movie's old enough at this point. It's what 20 years old,
Something like
25.
that.
No, it's
I think that's part of the reason that
25
the first
years
one is so great. Is
95, so it'd be 25. No, sorry,
It's
30
20.
years old. It's 30 years old.
Right.
95. Be 30
Oh,
years
yeah,
old.
yeah. Shit.
Almost, 29 years old.
I was
whatever.
going, for some reason, I was thinking 04.
Yeah, don't you wish?
I mean, I think that's part of the reason the first one is such a good one is you've got that great face off at the end.
Right. Yeah.
Just
But, it is what it is, and we've got 2 more to do. Are we doing the other 2?
huh?
Are we
Yeah,
do-
they're all in
they're
there.
all in? Okay.
I'm for sure.
I guess I'll finally get to see the fifth one.
It's not bad. It's just
I've only ever seen the fourth. I think I've only seen up to 4. I'm being honest. I don't remember the fifth one. If I'd have
the
seen
5th
it.
one is probably the worst reviewed because
I was gonna say
it doesn't bring
oh,
a lot
goody.
to the table. I like the movie. It's a great fucking action movie.
I looked up the cast. Patrick Stewart's in it.
A good day to
He
die.
is?
He's played a Russian general.
Patrick Stewart, really? I'm
Yeah,
trying to remember it. See, I forgot that
and
major detail.
Shameless.
The whole cast.
No. Lip's boss, the one that was an alcoholic and ended up being all fucked
Yeah,
up and
yeah.
all that. That guy's in it.
Wait, you mean her boss, Fiona's boss?
No, Lip's boss.
Oh no!
the
You're talking
motorcycle
about,
shop
yeah,
guy.
the motorcycle shop guy. Yeah.
I don't
because he
remember.
Lip was dating his niece. Or
Scott
Yeah,
Michael
his niece.
Campbell.
His niece,
Yeah, him.
What's he look like?
the Irish guy.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that
wasn't
guy.
it's good though. It's got Jai Courtney in it and shit. It's just it takes place in Moscow or like Russia or something.
Yeah, that's
And
the
it's
rest
just-
of the
it's just
cast
a
is
different
bunch of
setting.
Russian people.
It's not as colorful, I guess, and I don't know. It was good. I liked it, but a lot of people didn't like it. So probably because it was just your run of the mill action movie with a lot of explosions and it
Nowadays,
literally
people-
starts off with like it just goes right into the action.
Nowadays, people want plot heavy. They don't care for just straight action movies
Right.
anymore.
And it seems like and at that point you're like, why is it everywhere John McClane goes, he finds trouble? You know what I mean? It's just you're at that point with it. So
you ever
like,
think
even-
he just gets a Sunday to sit down and watch some football and
Yeah.
drink some beer? Or, I mean,
Yeah. And I think it was the whole thing to drive home.
you think he ever has like flashbacks at Christmas time, just like
Fuck Christmas.
I've only seen
He
two
starts-
things.
He starts twitching
John
like
Courtney.
yippee.
Yeah,
yippee.
that's what I'm saying. Like,
He's like twitching in his sleep. He's waking up in nightmares.
yeah, that's
Cold sweat. Yippee.
Yeah, I've only
he
seen
hears
two
Christmas
things.
carols on the radio and like has to pull
Sends
over.
him into flashbacks.
Two things with Jai Courtney, and that was Suicide Squad and Captain Boomerang or whatever,
Yeah.
and then Alita, which he had an uncredited cameo. So
And a what?
Alita, Battle Angel. He
He
had
was-
an uncredited cameo as.
See, I don't remember him in that movie. He was also in Spartacus.
Josh Hugan. He's probably a robot.
Probably some stupid
something.
shit. He's been in a
Like
few
I said, he
things.
was uncredited. It was
Yeah.
an uncredited cameo.
He was in the first
so-
season of Spartacus, too.
Did he play Spartacus?
No. He was Spartacus's best friend. In
I
the
did
first
watch
season.
Spartacus. Okay, so
If you see him, he's the guy with the curly hair and all that.
yeah,
It's the first thing I ever known him to be in.
I've only seen the
Jack
first season of Spartacus after the actor died.
Yeah.
I never watched anything else after that.
It's good. It's all good. Anyway, you got it. What do we get into? Oh yeah, we need to get into our Rotten Tomatoes stuff.
I got it.
Wow. Who's forgetting now?
So, what do you guys think for critics?
69.
Oh,
I'm gonna go.
62.
I think it's higher. I bet it's in the 70s. I'm gonna go 75.
You got it. It's 59.
59, really? Wow. Okay.
What about audience?
Audience.
79.
I was gonna say I bet it's higher for audience.
69.
I'm going 75 again.
No, it's not.
83.
83. Fuck you, Jeremiah. Who let you on anyway, man?
Did he win last time too?
He did win one of them, I believe, last week.
Yeah, one. I don't remember who won the other one.
I
For
think
some reason,
did.
I want to say it was Jackson, but
I don't know.
No, I don't think Jackson did. I think it was me and you. I'm not
was it
sure.
me and
though.
you?
No, because I was the
No,
one
'cause you were
doing
the
the
one
Rotten
doing
Tomatoes.
it.
I think it was you.
Maybe it was me.
I
I
don't
don't remember.
I know you won one of them, though. At least one of them.
So, critics' consensus: Die Hard with a Vengeance benefits from Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson's barbed interplay, but clatters to a bombastic finish in a vain effort to cover for an overall lack of fresh ideas. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right. So, a lot of these reviews are just kind of lame, I guess, but the last one kind of made me laugh, so. Definitely this kind of action flicks don't age well. Same kind of stuff that all other 80s movies of the genre. Too bad it was made in 95. Same kind of jokes and dumb lines, same kind of improbable action scenes, etc. Jackson carried this movie.
100%. I think Bruce Willis does a great job in the movie of being John McClane and stuff, but he carried the first two movies. This one, though, was definitely carried by Samuel L. Jackson. You could argue for the fourth one, too, that Justin Long carries that movie. Because Justin Long is one of the best parts of that movie. He's the comic relief sort of
Justin
deal.
Long.
So
This one's a 2.5 star. A standard action movie that could have any generic action hero in the title role, but entertaining enough. 1. Belligerent escapades. 2 star. It opens with a bigger setting than the first two and possibly an interesting story. This quickly fades and Jackson screaming over and over again in bullet point action sequences. Then it ends in a jumble of events, none of which seem that important.
you're right, though. It does feel like it's just a bunch of needless events that happen throughout the movie, and then here's the ending.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it felt like.
2 star. This film starts off great. However, like so many other films out there, it slowly collapses in its second half, which I thought was annoyingly way too drawn out. I can understand now why there is a 12-year gap between this installment and the fourth. The links to the original film are cliched, and the formula is little recycled for this series, but to be fair, there's much more enjoyable action going on this time around. It may be severely average, but I'll be honest in saying that it held my attention a hell of a lot more than the first two classics, in quotations.
I was gonna say that I did feel like this movie was just like a little bit too long. Like, I understand that everything that had to be done was done.
Not necessarily. They could have chopped it down a little bit if they wanted to.
Mm.
I think if they had taken out a couple of things, maybe shortened the runtime by about 10, 15 minutes, and really tightened up that script and the plot holes and everything, I think that the movie would have been received a little better. Because I think that putting Samuel L. Jackson in there and giving them that kind of like buddy cop vibe was a great idea. It was good. It changed up a little bit, just enough to where you're like, oh, something a little new, a little fresh. You know, and you don't have to rely so much on Bruce Willis because you had him for the first two as the like not only the action hero but also the comic relief. You know, whereas in this one you don't get as much out of that out of him. You get that out of Samuel L. Jackson, and I think that was a good way to go. But it just kind of like failed because not because of Samuel L. Jackson or anything, but mostly because of the writing and the length of the movie, and kind of I want to say that it's more because of the writing, because of how Samuel L. Jackson's character has to be played as this like righteous, fucking activist kind of deal, and that can be annoying. Like you don't want some preachy guy on screen for 2 hours.
Well, I like how he kind of shuts it down at the beginning, where he's like, you may care about this about race, but this guy doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. And he also
like he reminds him that there's a bigger picture here at stake.
I think it was funny too whenever he like calls him out for Samuel L. Jackson being a racist too. Like you're a racist. You don't like me because I'm white. And and it's funny how true that is even today. How that still is true. Like people hate other people. Like black people hate some white people because they're white and they think they're privileged or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think nothing against anybody who fights for that stuff, but it's starting to get really old having it screamed in your face all the time. And I see where and I'm glad it's funny to see that in a movie back in 95 where it's still a problem 30 years later, that it's a problem not only with, black people with white people or white people with black people, but just in every culture and every race. It's so fucking annoying. Like, when are we going to get over this shit and realize we're all just fucking people?
Yeah.
It gets really annoying having that shit screamed and all over. And with social media and everything, it's only gotten worse. So
everybody's got a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, everybody's got a fucking voice. They think that it needs to be heard.
Yeah, everybody's important. The thing that kills me with these reviews is how many of them dog on the first two. Like, if you watched the first two and you hated them, then why did you keep going? Like the first that last one was like the first two classics.
I know I watched 50 Shades of Grey. I didn't continue watching the other two because I didn't like the first one.
Yeah, if you don't like the first one and then you watch the second one, you didn't like that, why would you continue with the third?
Same as Twilight. I didn't like them, so I didn't continue watching them.
I've only seen the first one.
I think that might be the only one I've ever seen. I've seen bits and pieces of the other ones.
I was gonna say, because you were talking about the second one last.
I think I've seen the first one and maybe the second one. And then I've seen bits and pieces of the other ones. I don't think I've watched them. I know I haven't watched the last two or whatever. Breaking Wind or whatever it is.
Wasn't there a parody? Breaking Wind or something like that? But I've only seen the first one, and then I seen the TikTok that you showed me where the guy fucking went off the rails because of the fucking fight.
Oh, yeah.
Flings her into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll help. That'll help.
So stupid.
All right, so this one's a 1-star. Die Hard 3 may have shed off the generic and terribly boring plot of Die Hard 2, Die Harder, but it can't match the sheer genius of the original Die Hard with a script bombarded with the unappealing combination of pyromania and racist hate speech and puzzles.
Not to mention, it's a very...
That's what you got against the movie? Puzzles?
Yeah. I think one of the glaring problems with this movie, too, that the other movies don't suffer from, is it is really, really just oversaturated with just stuff going on screen. Like, there's buildings and cars, and it's just an entire cityscape. And it's just, there's so much going on screen, and all these different people. It's harder to get into and follow because you're not taking the ride along with John McClane anymore. You're riding along with all these other characters too. And whereas the first two were like a little more personal because you're riding along with John McClane.
Mm-hmm.
Like you are in his shoes.
You can focus on what's happening.
You're focusing on him and his character and what he's got to do. In the third one, you're focusing on his character, what the police chief is doing because he's trying to find these bombs in the schools. Then you've got Samuel L. Jackson's character. Then you got Simon's character and all his little henchmen and goons and all that. And there's a lot going on screen. It's a lot to follow.
It's true.
Not to mention a lot of characters that you've never fucking seen before because they don't bring anybody back from the first two.
Yeah, where the fuck is Carl?
Yeah, he's not. Well, he's still in California.
I don't give a shit.
You know what I mean?
He was on
Where's
the phone in the last one. He sent him a fax. He could have sent him like a smoke signal, something.
At least give him a call.
Yeah.
Like, oh man,
Reach
I got
out
another
to
one
a
of these
friend.
problems over here. Yeah.
Yeah, like you would never believe what is happening.
Yeah.
Right
More
now.
bullshit.
Listen to
It's like it
this.
follows me.
Yeah. This is some bullshit, Carl. Another 1 star. Samuel L. Jackson's breath of fresh air performance isn't enough to save this piece of trash from crashing and burning horrible movie stick with the first two.
Breath of fresh air.
That's what
He
they said.
screams in everything he's in.
Where's my super suit?
Yeah.
It's been a long time since I've seen this, and boy, it was cheesy. The plot was quite big in terms of epic, involving the whole city for a film of its time, but some of the crazy plot twists were ludicrously over the top to get what they were trying to achieve. Many parts of the film seemed like plot devices, with their parts being pointless. The special effects were rather poor, and the acting all around was very cliche, all apart from Jackson, who was the saving grace of this film and rescued it.
I love how people are divided on his character.
Mm-hmm. Willis played it by numbers. The bad guys were stereotypes, and it all just needed to be over faster. Popcorn fodder. And the last one, and my favorite one, 0.5 star. What a poor movie. Very disappointing. A movie that makes Die Hard 2 look great. By the way, there is no punctuation, so bear with me.
That was a giant run-on sentence.
Yeah.
You know what that just reminded me of? What movie was? Oh, they were talking about we're gonna make House Party 1 look like House Party 2, or some shit like that. It was from Jan Silent Bob Strike Back. It's like you're literally taking and comparing sequels to its predecessors, and it's like, why?
Right.
Like you know this is all common knowledge that sequels are never as good as the originals.
Yeah.
Most of the time, anyway.
What a poor movie.
Most of the time, not always.
Very disappointing. A movie that makes Die Hard 2 look great. Bruce Willis is not even. John McClane seems like he's in the movie to collect a paycheck. The movie is more bloody for no reason. This movie tries too hard being T.O. To me, it's trying to be like Lethal Weapon, and it's failing. Hans Gruber's brother, come on, wow. Great plot twist. This movie fails to capture Die Hard 2 sensibility. Die Hard 2 sensibility. And
Die Harder.
Yeah, and it really fails to capture... That's where it got me. Die Hard... It fails to capture Die Hard 2 sensibility. And it really fails to capture the original sheer genius.
Do we need to go back to the grenade scene with him inside the plane?
Maybe.
Like, that...
I'm
what about
saying,
that sensibility?
I'm saying they tried, though. I mean, they had the water scene. They did try.
That was more sensible than that grenade scene. I'm just saying.
I'm saying they tried, though.
I
They
know.
tried to get the sensibility. They tried. That's all I'm saying.
That grenade scene was just ridiculous.
But I'm saying they tried. Give them some benefit.
Yeah, they just kept throwing fucking grenades in there. Like,
He stands there for a minute and looks at them all, and
Right.
then gets out. And
at
like,
most, those grenades
he
have
gets-
5
he gets a
seconds.
good-
Right.
Yeah, and then he gets a good distance away before they even blow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At most, 5 seconds.
And it really fails to capture the original sheer genius. Poor excuse for a sequel, unnecessary to TOO this time. The only reason to watch it is, and I'm not.
Is.
It is if you want to see a good performance by the great Samuel L. Jackson.
Wow, dude. Why don't you
That
just
is
suck his
one
dick?
sentence.
That was all one sentence. No periods.
Was there a period at the
No
end?
periods.
Maybe he was
Was
No.
there a period at the end?
Nope.
Oh, lovely.
And there's very few.
Sir, I give your 1-star review 1 star.
And
Oh, it was a
there's
half a
very
star.
few.
Or half a star.
Yeah, and there's very few uppercase letters as well,
Maybe he
including
went,
names.
maybe he went Jeremy Irons with the is.
Yeah,
Samuel L.
is-
Jackson
is-
is capitalized.
It's so funny because he's supposed to have this stutter and all that. Like he stutters sometimes.
He only did it once.
Only did it once. He did it one fucking time.
Yeah, and he
Yeah,
makes
and
it
that
out
was
like
the
that's how
scene.
he duped him. It's like, dude, you did it one time.
Yeah, you did it one time.
Well, he did it then, and then he did it once at the end.
I know, that's what I'm saying. He makes it out like that's how he duped them. Like
He
when
did
he
it
does
once.
it again, it's like, haha, that's how I got you. But you did it one time.
That he did it again.
Yeah,
Oh,
at
he
the-
only did it that one scene when Bruce Willis was on the phone with him.
yeah, he did it that
He's like,
time,
"Listen
and
here,
then
bonehead."
later,
Or
and then later when Bruce Willis and him were on the boat, and he makes some mention of having like outsmarted them, and then he's like, I got you, or something like that,
Oh, God damn, I don't fucking
He did it.
remember
He
that.
did it in the warehouse
or in the warehouse
while he was
something.
talking to all of his.
Oh
henchmen.
yeah, he's like, I got them.
I got them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I must have just
As in- as
completely
if-
breezed
as if-
over that one.
Yeah, as if
I don't remember that. I just remember when they were on the phone and he was like, "Listen here, bonehead." or
Yeah, it was
whatever.
like as if that stutter's what won the game.
Sweet ass trivia with Karen.
That's it.
Anyway, moving on. Let's get into some of that sweet ass trivia. You already got trivia written down. We aren't even into it yet.
2 hours.
She got it written down at hour 45. I think my timestamps are gonna be all fucked up today.
2 hours.
It's at 2 hours. Just say 2 hours.
I don't know why I wrote down the time. I think I got distracted.
Well, write it down for 2 hours now that you're putting the cap on the marker.
Jonathan Hensley was detained by the FBI after completing the script for the film because he knew extensive information about the Federal Gold Reserve in downtown Manhattan. Hensley stated they got all the information from an article written in the New York Times. Bruce Willis suggested
So wait, he was detained because he wrote so much about the
the
Federal,
Federal
Reserve.
Reserve. He knew too much. And he got it from an article.
He
out
got
of
it
the
from
New
an
York Times.
article that he. Okay. Wow.
Bruce Willis suggested Samuel L. Jackson for the movie. Jackson was thrilled. He says he's seen the first Die Hard maybe 30 times.
Really?
She even messaged me on Snap. She really wants some donuts.
Maybe.
The sandwich board that Bruce Willis wore while filming in Harlem was originally blank rather than text to ensure no one was offended by the racist message. It was added with CGI and post-production. Some television broadcasts use an alternate version where the sign reads, I hate everybody, which is sometimes erroneously said to be the original version of the sign used for filming. But this, too, was added with CGI and post-production. The studio told screenwriter Jonathan Hensley to remove the scenes with McClane walking around Harlem wearing the sign. They only allowed him to keep the scene when he threatened to take the script to another studio. Good for him, though.
Yeah, for standing by it.
Samuel L. Jackson said that Zeus is the closest character to my personality of any that I've played. When Zeus Carver picks up the gold bar at the Federal Reserve, he says, damn, this is heavy. Yeah, so this is what I was saying. A standard gold bar kept at the Federal Reserve weighs approximately 25 pounds.
Jesus.
Yeah, so... God, you would need...
And you're saying his name wrong. It's Jesus.
Jesus.
That actually says it. You would actually need 480 dump trucks to steal all the gold from the Federal Reserve. So I was way off on my math.
480 dump
480.
trucks.
So how many boats would that be? Over 1,000?
I don't know. Depends on how big the boat is and how much it's able to carry in weight.
Yeah,
You
'cause
think that?
some boats
I mean, it's
carry
definitely going to
cars
take
and
more
stuff.
than a few boats, but boats can carry a lot of weight, like especially
Yeah,
like
'cause-
freight
You
liners
think
and stuff
they
like
could
that.
take? Well, they would be able to take more than dump trucks because they don't have a suspension system. But
Exactly.
yeah,
But yeah, they still need definitely more boats.
Oh.
Like they wouldn't be able to do it on one boat for sure.
it's crazy that they just was like, oh yeah, 17 will be enough.
Like, could you imagine having 480 dump trucks alone on a boat of any size? That's a lot of dump trucks.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong. They put a lot of what are those shipping containers and stuff
Oh,
on
yeah,
boats and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
But like to put that kind of weight though,
Well, they
like
put
is
cars
there
on
was
boats
some of your-
too.
yeah, huh?
You're foreshadowing too about when they said something about crime in the city or whatever. He's like, oh yeah, just 12 dump trucks just came up missing.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
As in the original Die Hard, the German spoken in this movie is mostly grammatically incorrect. A few lines are so wrong that they have to be considered gibberish. Most notably, the exchange of the fake cops who are given the briefcase bomb by Zeus.
I wonder if they're like if the Germans have ever seen this movie, like, what are they saying?
Well, in the German release, however, all of the lines that were German in the original movie are grammatically correct, fitting the context, and some of the terrorists even have an East German accent. Sir Sean Connery was director John McTiernan's first choice for the role of Simon Gruber. He turned down the role, saying that he didn't want to play such a diabolical villain. Wouldn't have worked anyway. He wouldn't change his accent for anyone. So, could you imagine him trying to say like German words with that Scottish accent?
With that Scottish accent, it'd be terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Jeremy Irons was a good choice.
He was a really good choice. Originally titled Simon Says, where Zeus was scripted as a woman, and was considered by Joel Silver as the third sequel to Lethal Weapon. 20th Century Fox, however, did not agree to sell the script to Joel Silver. Jeremy Irons claimed that someone described his hairstyle in the film as midlife crisis. Lawrence Fishburne was the original choice to play Zeus Carver, but turned down the part. When he reconsidered the decision, Samuel L. Jackson was already cast.
I don't think he's doing very good.
No.
He wouldn't have
brought
he's
that
way
kind of,
too tame.
Yeah, he wouldn't have brought enough life to the character for me.
Yeah.
It would have been boring.
Yeah, no. McClane driving a car through Central Park was based on a fantasy Jonathan Hensley had about being able to cut through the park to avoid traffic. The 2003 R1 DVD version includes the original ending showing McClane and Simon playing a game of chicken with a rocket launcher. In this original version, which I think would have been much better, Simon Gruber and his crew get away with the gold, and a few months later, McClane tracks Simon down in Europe, where in Europe is debated. McClane mentions Germany, but people in the background are heard speaking Hungarian. The number on the bottom of the aspirin bottle at the phone booth leads McClane to Gruber. The gold was turned into small miniatures of the Empire State Building and smuggled out of the country. McClane is thrown off of the force, with the police thinking that he may have actually been involved in the heist. The game that McClane and Simon play is about riddles that McClane tells Simon, and he is supposed to figure out the answer, or McClane will force him to fire a rocket launcher with its directional arrows removed. So neither will know which direction it will fire in until it's actually fired. The scene climaxes with McClane forcing Simon at gunpoint to fire the rocket launcher, which kills Simon, and McClane is revealed to be wearing a flak jacket, which would have saved his life if the rocket launcher had fired at him instead of Simon. The studio objected.
A flak jacket saving you from a rocket launcher? No.
I'm not saying it's realistic, but
no.
That would have been a cool ending, though.
But this is the part that I'm thinking is much better. Listen, so I'm not saying that part they could have finessed that a little bit, but the studio objected to the ending, saying that it made McClane too cruel and heartless. Whereas screenwriter Jonathan Hensley stated that was exactly the point, to show that McClane had been pushed over the edge by the events of the day, and then subsequently losing everything as a result of Simon.
Okay, so it does sound good, but I don't think that him being implemented as in he was in on it all is a good idea. Like, that's a terrible idea.
No, but I like the one-on-one face-off at the end.
Yeah,
that would have been cool.
The one-on-one face-off is cool, but I don't like the.
No, I'm not saying
they
him
believe
losing
that he
his
was
job.
in on the whole
No,
heist.
but what would have been cool is if they set him up to make it look like he lost his job, so that Simon thinks, oh, ha ha ha, he's lost everything. Well, but meanwhile they're actually giving him every means to get to him. Like, we're gonna make it look like you lost your job, but meanwhile, here's all this money, here's how to get, we're still gonna back you up, to get there. You know what I mean? I don't know. There's just ways they could have done it better, I guess, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The original script had McClane reciting the classic dad joke, "Simon, you're under a vest," during the closing sequence, but this never made the theatrical release. This is the second film in which Samuel L. Jackson's character steals a kid's bike for police business. Can anyone guess the first film?
Last Action Hero.
Mm-mm.
Well, he does.
Samuel L. Jackson?
Oh, Samuel L. Jackson does it.
I was going to say, I don't remember.
Is it The Long Kiss Goodnight?
Mm-mm.
Let me think. Hold on. He's done it before. As it says, this is police business.
This is the second film in which Samuel L. Jackson's character steals a bike for police business.
He wasn't a cop in The Long Kiss Goodnight. Was it Shaft?
Mm-mm.
I don't know.
The first film was Loaded Weapon. Bruce Willis has a cameo in that film as John McClane.
No.
Is this 1616 Beach Lane? No, this is 1313 Beach Lane. 1616's 3 blocks that way. Sorry about that. No problem. Love that fucking movie. That's it.
All right, that was Lethal Weapon.
Wow.
Die Hard.
Not Lethal
Die
Weapon,
Hard
not
with
Loaded
Vengeance.
Weapon.
Not Loaded Weapon, not Lethal Weapon. Although, I don't think any of the lethal weapons are in there.
I don't think they are. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, I don't think I've seen any but...
I've seen all of them.
I think I've seen the first 2.
I don't know if I've seen anything but maybe parts of all of them. I don't know if I've seen any of it, all the way through. I don't know.
We're gonna watch them.
I don't know.
They're good.
I'm not
They're
saying
really
I have or I haven't.
Yeah, they're really good.
You seen Lethal Weapon 5 and 6?
I have.
6? I don't think there's 6 of them. I think there's only like 4.
Sonny.
Oh yeah, I've seen 5 and 6.
What are they?
It's always Sonny,
Sonny.
Mac,
Yeah.
and Dennis.
I saw
They
those.
created the
Yeah.
Lethal Weapons.
Yeah, I did see those.
5
They're
and
supposed to be
6.
doing another one, I think.
I
Of
think
course
so.
they are. I saw.
And they got a trailer out for Beverly Hills Cop 4 or whatever
Yeah,
for Netflix. That looks pretty
it
good.
does look pretty good.
Guess
So.
what? We just canceled Netflix. We ain't watching it.
We'll watch it.
All right, movie.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
Pick something good.
RoboCop.
For
The Witch.
Turtles, for love of God. What is
No,
it? What is it?
Pitch Perfect.
Seriously?
3? Sweet.
Why?
Oh, I fucking
Dude,
love them movies.
The third one's great. I love it, but
If you want, go ahead and pick something
It's
else.
out of the box, man. It's out of the box.
no, we've been
It's the
to
last
those
one.
before.
It's the last one. To get it out of the
We
way.
just watched it.
What do you want me to do about it? This happened something.
No,
Didn't this
you've
happen?
been through
This happened
those
with the
before.
Alien movies. This happened
but the
with
Alien movies were good.
and then it happened with the Texas Chainsaw movies.
The-
2 back to back.
it
But
was
at least
every
it'll be
other
done.
week.
They'll be done.
But
Another movie franchise out of the way.
I want to watch a horror movie.
So watch a horror movie.
I want to review a horror movie.
We will at some
So
Let
point.
me
watch it and then
rephrase
just
that.
review it to yourself. Yeah, it's
No.
fucking good. That fucking sucked.
All right, so next
I did
week.
watch something else. I watched No One Will Save You, that one Alien movie. I went to watch it with Cody, but she fell asleep before the movie even started.
Go figure.
Yeah.
All right, so next week we're gonna do the last Pitch Perfect movie. Thank God, because I'm over these movies. We literally just did one like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy that they're gonna be over with too.
That they're
I
what?
like
That they're
them.
gonna be done.
That they're. I'm glad they're gonna be done too.
I'm not saying that they're awful. I'm just over it.
Yeah, I am too. All right, so next week we're gonna do Pitch Perfect 3. Don't forget to check out our social media stuff: TikTok, Facebook, X, Instagram, and don't forget to check out Discord. Until next week, whenever we do Pitch Perfect 2 or 3. 3.
6.
Yeah,
3.
6. Pitch Perfect 12.
Oh, God. I quit.
I hope not.
Yeah, I quit. I'm done. I'm out. But anyway, until next week.
Okay, bye.
This is